For Seattle, it'll be Pat Putnam to lead it off. He'll be followed by Cowens and then Steve Henderson. Rain still coming down. Little breeze that's picking up now, the wind. It might help it in a sense that it is blowing it around into a spray more than a heavy rain, but it's raining pretty good. As Hoyt winds, kicks, and delivers a curveball in and over. A lot of groups here tonight. Waukegan Lake County Community Night. Time Telephone Marketing Group and a group from the St. Joseph Hospital. Chicago Textile Club. There's a ground ball right side. Julio Cruz right there. Throws him out. One away. That'll bring on Al Cowens. About 3 of the Seattle hitters so far have come up in Sox batting helmets. In the first of that round-robin Little World Series, the Denver Bears were beaten by Tidewater 7-1. First pitch to Cowens outside, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's outside. The count goes to 2-0. You can almost gauge, can't you, Kenny, by how hard it's raining, watching that absorption compound just disintegrate into the regular coloring of the infield. There's the next pitch down low. It's 3-0.
That time of the year, the changing of the colors. It's coming down pretty well, but I don't think they'll, as you mentioned earlier, Don, if they're going to start it in this situation here, the umpire is certainly aware of all the factors, all the possibilities. If it doesn't get any harder than this, they'll play it right on through.
Here's the 3-1 pitch, foul right side, out of play. And a count full of 3-2.
We have both seen them played much more than this.
Oh, yes, sir. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Curveball. Got him looking. Strike 3 call. Cowens went east while the curveball went west. And he will be the second strikeout victim for Hoyt.
As soon as he saw the spin on it, he knew he was gone. Mercy.
And that'll bring on Steve Henderson, again wearing his Sox batting helmet. I gotta wonder if somebody didn't sneak in and just rip off some of the Seattle batting helmets.
Could have been that. Could have been probably, a situation where they got in so late last night, maybe lost in the luggage.
That very well could have been.
They came in on a commercial flight, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
So that could have very well, in a full boat, we understand. So that could have been very easily what happened.
There's a big swing and a miss at a curveball by Steve Henderson, hitting an even 300, 10 home runs, and 54 RBIs on the year. Oh, that rain is just sweeping across with the wind blowing behind it. It's raining pretty good right now. Here's the 1-strike pitch. There's a fastball just outside. Well, I tell you, in pitching these kind of games, Kenny, and I've been there.
What you was right up your alley. What are you talking about?
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Strike 2 call. This is how you gamble. You just get it, throw it. Try and cut them down as fast as you can for 5 and hope that you get a run and they call it. That's it. Get it and throw it, and it's raining harder.
I'd like to see your record on days that it rained.
Here's the 1-2 pitch.
I'll tell you, it must have been hellacious.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's easier on the jaws, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, many times in the summer, there was that little white cloud that cried that used to come over, It rained a little bit out there. 1-2 pitch is hit back to Lamar. He picks it down, gets her out of the way of the bat, throws him out. 1-2-3. The Mariners are gone after 1.5, no score.
Over the years, you've built up a lot of equity in your home. Well, it's easy to cash in on that value with a home equity loan. Who do you turn to? Talk to the people with satisfied customers.
We got a home equity loan from General Finance. There weren't any hidden charges.
They gave us an okay Tuesday, and the loan was completed on Friday.
We used the money from General Finance to add a room onto our house. It's an investment, really. Now our place is worth more.
Interest rates at General Finance were lower than a lot of other credit charges.
Oh, yeah.
They suggested several payment plans, and we really appreciated that because it let us decide which one would be best for our budget.
Our General Finance guy was friendly and really knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And besides, he looks just like that guy on my soap opera.
I didn't notice that.
To find out how you can borrow $5,000, $15,000, $20,000 or more with a home equity loan, stop by the General Finance Corporation office nearest you. We'd like you to be one of our satisfied customers.
If we ever borrow again, we'll go back to General Finance.
Call General Finance for a large home equity loan up to $50,000 or for a smaller consumer loan. See the white pages for the office nearest you.
If you're a Sox fan, you've got plenty to cheer about these days. There's the winning spirit that's taking the Sox to the playoffs and the winning taste of Dubuque White Sox Plumpers. Dubuque White Sox Plumpers are the official hot dog of the Chicago White Sox, the same ones served at Comiskey Park. They're big on a bun, gigantic on taste, with a mild, meaty flavor Sox fans can't get enough of. So pick up some Plumpers before the next Sox game. That way you'll have two things to cheer about. Another White Sox win and the winning taste of Dubuque White Sox
We'll go to the bottom of the second. Let's pause for station identification. Saluting all the listeners in Grand Rapids, Michigan on affiliate WTWN on this White Sox Radio Network.
Keep it right here for complete coverage of all the baseball races tomorrow morning on 67 WMAQ Chicago. Stay with the Sox and stay with WMAQ. It's 10 o'clock.
Tom Peshorik will lead it off, and he'll be hitting for Elmer Schelling Jr. of Aurora, Illinois on this, our big payoff inning. As Moore comes right back, and the next pitch down low, the count evens up at 1-1. As we mentioned many times before, the key for the umpires to be watching, they'll be looking at that mound on a rainy night. Rain coming down again pretty hard. But maybe the one break is the breeze. Here's the next pitch, a ground ball hit, foul outside of third. 1-2 the count. A ball and two strikes. As Moore rocks into motion, here's the next pitch to Peshorik down low, and the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. 2-2 pitch, strike 3 call. Good, hard, breaking pitch over that outside corner.
Boy, there was a nasty slider by Mike Moore. As we say, he is not short on talent, a little short on experience. That young man out there, tall, hard-throwing right-hander, one day he's got a chance.
Here is Ron Kittle. Ron swings at a breaking pitch, doesn't get it. And the count 0-1, hitting for Judy Jodic of Naperville, Illinois. Breaking pitch again, and a weak swing by Kittle, 0-2. Ronnie's hit safely in 13 of his last 14 games. Rain coming down harder now, bigger drops as Moore delivers, and that's down low.
They're going to have to stop it now.
They're going to call it, I think, pretty soon. Put that tarp back on, and boy, the grounds crew would rather take a beating than do that. Rain coming hard in sheets as he tries to bunt, fouls it away, and he will strike out. Now it lightens up just a hair. Boy, that tarp is heavy. The grass is wet. Ron Kittle forgot to count. He thought there was only one strike on him. He tried to go back, get his bat, and Del Crandall and that Seattle bench all jumped up and yelled, "Hey! Whoa!" And Home plate umpire Ted Henry said, well, I didn't see what he was doing over there. He's going to be all right. Here comes Tony La Russa out. But there was. He swung at 2 pitches. He swung at the first 2 pitches. Now Tony goes back. And there's 2 out. Now the rain has backed off a little right now. Still coming down, but not like it was just a few seconds ago. As Vance Law stands in and takes outside ball 1. 1-0 the count.
Never seen that. Never seen that. 23 years.
Law takes a strike and the count 1-1.
Man swing at the first 2 and then not know the count.
No. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Law checks on a breaking pitch. They appeal. They say no. 2-1 the count. He did. He just flat swung at the first 2. Tried to bunt after the count was 1-2. Bunted it foul. Wanted to get one more in there. Next pitch high and inside. 3-1 the count. Boy, if this kid here ever gets command, he is going to be something.
Got a chance to be a star.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Walks in ball 4. Now that will bring on Scott Fletcher. And as the rain comes down again, breeze blowing hard. Vance Law was hitting for Edward Pure of Chicago, and Scotty Fletcher hitting for Don Jameson of Yorkville, Illinois. But both dugouts are saying, come on, let's get a run. Moore out of the stretch, and the pitch to Fletcher is taken for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Here's a big guy. I think if I was a hitter, Kenny, I wouldn't be up there taking a lot of pitches. I'd go to Whalen.
He wouldn't have any problems with me. You bet I'd say one thing, especially if he got the breaking ball over. First time he threw a fastball, I don't care if it was high.
After I've seen that slur of a breaking pitch of his, I don't want to have to battle that for my dinner.
Grab some bench.
So to first, back in time is Law with a good move. No, sir. I'm going to be going to bread and water many a night. He's trying to hit that thing. Another throw to first. Law back again. That's one thing about those power pitchers, a hard thrower. They just love to have people say, well, I'll give you one. I'll spot you one. If they've got control. Here's the 1-strike pitch. There's that slurve and made Scotty's knees kind of quiver a little bit. Took it for strike 2. 0-2 the count.
Well, they've got more on the gun this year at 96. And when you're talking about a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, if that man gets a breaking ball over, as I say, just grab some time.
Here's the 2-strike pitch. There's that slurve down low. He thought he had him struck out. And the count 1-2.
It was high enough. It was a strike.
One ball and 2 strikes to count. Moore again ready to go. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Foul back. Scotty had a good swing at a fastball.
He sure did. Right on him. Well, you don't think it was tough going up there and facing some of those guys like Pasquale who could throw hard with that good hard curveball. Well, if they get it over, it's that simple. That's how academic really it is. If they get it over, you're out.
So the first, Law back in time and just in time. Boy, I'll tell you, that big man's got to move. 2 pitch. Look out. Scotty almost just ducked right into that. That was about ear flap high. And he got out of the way in a hurry.
Right over the ear.
2-2 the count. Kind of takes a little bit of that summer tan away for a while. Another throw to first, Law back in time. Moore again out of the stretch. And again to first and Law back. Right now, really no batter's box hardly showing. Here's the 2-2 pitch outside a breaking pitch, and it's 3-2. And that'll give Law the jump at first base. But he had better make sure this big guy, well, now he gets a break.
Yeah.
As Putnam goes behind him on a slippery infield. And a ball that can be a little bit of a gapper down the line. Tonight it could be tough to score. But if you're going to get a lead with a running start, makes it better. 3-2 pitch, fouled right side. Boy, that good fastball. Scotty turned those big wrists over. Barrel of the bat didn't cooperate. Scotty said, I'm going to have to use a little Kentucky windage for the start time on this. Moore again, ready, runner goes, 3-2 pitch, fouled again, right side. Gonna have to tighten it up some more. As the rain comes down a little bit harder again. You can only gear it up so much.
I think he's flat out right now.
You think so?
Yeah. He's got it geared up as tight wound as tight as he can.
Runner goes, 3-2 pitch, foul again, right side. That's right up through the raindrops. And Law will come back. Rain coming down in sheets again. Jim Evans, third base umpire, just kind of fixing the back of his jacket collar. Hands in his pocket. And time call. Fletcher backs out. Now Scott back in. Moore again ready to go. Law goes. The next pitch is hit on one hop to the shortstop. Right there is Owen. Goes on across to Putnam. And that'll retire the side. So the Sox in the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave a man aboard after 2, no score.
Bring out your best. The true measure of the best doesn't come from a moment. Bring out your best. It comes over time, when a goal that had been set is finally realized. But why the light? Taking the time to do all that's necessary and more. It's a commitment, like the commitment to quality that led to the brewing of Budweiser Light. A light beer with a clean, distinctive taste worthy of the king of beers.
Bring out your best.
Budweiser Light.
Bring out your best.
Budweiser Light.
Bring out your best.
Budweiser Light. The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Whether you're working on a complicated home renovation project or a simple remodeling job, your work is not complete until you've applied the finishing touches. Hi, Pat Summerall for True Value Hardware Stores to say a coat of paint can provide that final touch. And quality True Test Orel brushes have tapered polyester bristles, so you can apply all types of paint on all kinds of surfaces. For performance and value, Get True Test Oriole brushes in assorted sizes and styles at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
As we go to the top of the third, it'll be Ricky Nelson, right fielder, then Darnell Coles, the third baseman, Jamie Nelson, the catcher. No score in the ball game. And the rains have backed off a little, but still coming down. Just blowing in sheets. Young man out of Arizona State stands in as Hoyt delivers his strike, and the count is 0-1. Boy, that breeze is kicking up, coming over that right field roof, blowing to left. Next pitch taken high, a change in the count 1-1. If it was any other night but tonight, that breeze blowing over that left field roof, you'd say, boy, what a good hitter's match for a right-hander.
Well, that's one reason that they're catching a break as far as continuing this game. It's because it's coming over that right field roof right there. Same situation coming in from left. They never continue. But that right field roof right here, first base roof, is blocking home plate from it a little bit.
Curveball, got him swinging, strike 3. Number 3 for Hoyt, and that will bring on Darnell Cole.
Out in center field and towards left, it's Rudy Law and Ron Kittle that's catching the brunt of it.
You can say that again. Of course, Kittle makes it a little double tough for Ron, who wears glasses, and that rain blowing in sheets right at him. You got to pull that cap down a little bit lower, peek from out under that bill. Rudy just got his hands in the front of his pants, trying to keep that throwing hand warm, as the curveball is a little bit low to Coles. 0-1 to count. Check that 1-0. Darnell Coles hitting .250, a home run, a couple of RBIs, fouls a curveball away. 1-1 the count. Boy, there are some faithful here. I will say that. And that's really one of the reasons that, I'll tell you about that after this pitch. Fastball inside, talking with Eddie Einhorn. He said, you'd like to get it in. You're not worried about the gate, but you like to get the fans, the ones that might not have been here for a while, or maybe haven't been here all year. The Sox in a pennant race. 2-1 pitch, taking high, ball 3. Let them see the game. Let them have some fun. If we can get it in for them. If we can't, well, there's nothing we can do about that. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Hit to center field. Rudy Law right there into the raindrops and makes the catch. 2 outs to the catcher, Jamie Nelson.
Well, again, Donnie, with the contending situation right here, and you got your first place Sox, it's almost an either-or situation. You either call it very early so the people don't have to make that long drive in, or if you don't, if you think you can get a break in the weather, then you wait, and you wait a long time. So it's feast or famine in that respect.
Hoyt delivers the first pitch, and that's outside. A breaking pitch. 1-0 the count. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Now, don't forget on Wednesday, September 21st, against Minnesota at 7:30, sponsored by Household Finance, following the regular season Sox home game against Minnesota, there'll be a salute to the Sox fireworks display. There's a shot right back off of the heel into the shortstop, Fletcher, and they throw Nelson out. That was right through the wickets of Hoyt. Hit him on the heel, deflected over to Fletcher, and that will be a 1-6-3 put out. We'll tell you about that Sox send-off as we come back. After 2.5, no score.
sports fans. This is the official voice of Apple Computer, Dick Cavett. With the voice of baseball, Mel Allen.
And I'm proud to announce that Major League Baseball teams have signed up the remarkable Apple IIe personal computer.
Drafted to help managers pick the best batting orders, pitching rotations, and defenses.
And to help them scout the minors. Even the announcers are using Apple IIes to tell the fans more about the players.
So no matter what field you're in or on, an Apple IIe can help you be more productive. You know, Mel, I've always thought I might make it as a baseball announcer. Listen, there's a drive. It is way back. It is going. It is gone.
I'd stick to pitching apples, Dick.
Join the major leagues. Get an Apple IIe.
You'll find Apple computers at Meade Computer Center in Munster, Indiana. CompuShops in Chicago and the Chicagoland area. Consult your Yellow Pages and Ideal Computer Systems incorporated in Kankakee, Illinois. 1018 at WMAQ.
The White Sox WMAQ.
How are you doing, everybody? This is Chet Kopic of Channel 5 Sports. Don't forget, coming up at 10 p.m. tonight on our Channel 5 News, as always, we'll be live at Comiskey Park for a full report with highlights of this ball game you're listening to right now between the White Sox and the Seattle Mariners. White Sox trying to drop that magic number down to 2. We'll have Cubs-Pirates highlights, update all the divisional races for you. So join me tonight at 10 p.m. along with Ron Majors, Linda Yu, and Jim Tillman on Chicago's Channel 5 News.
As we go to the bottom of the third inning, it'll be Julio Cruz to lead it off, followed by Rudy Law, Carlton Fisk. We're telling you about that farewell White Sox pep rally and the fireworks show on September 21st. And sponsored by Household Finance. The fireworks display saluting the Sox right after that game. And Sox will go on their final road trip of the year. I hope you're out here to send the White Sox off to the coast in Chicagoland fashion. Julio Cruz to lead it off. Julio, check that, 246, 3 home runs, and 47 RBIs. Julio hitting from the left side over the right-handed pitching of Moore, who rocks into motion, kicks and delivers fastball high, and the count 1-0. Outfield playing Cruz a hit to the opposite field. Here's the 1-0 pitch, foul coming back. Thing that'll be interesting tonight, if there's a ball hit in the alley that'll roll to the wall, where a lot of that water's standing along the warning track, it'll be interesting to see where the outfielder throws it after he picks it up.
Not very far.
He might throw it right straight up in the air. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's outside, and the count 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Moore comes right back, 2-1 pitch, low and inside, ball 3, and the count 3-1. Three balls and a strike. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Cruz, strike 2 called, Julio taking all the way. Now the count's full of 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch outside, and that's ball 4. So the second walk issued by Mike Moore. He thought he had him struck out. The catcher, Jamie Nelson, started to go to third base with it. The home plate umpire, Ted Hendry, said no, as Rudy Law will stand in. Now Davey Nelson and Julio Cruz having a little chat at first base. Greg Koss, the first base umpire, calling time, and now says, okay, we'll go. Greg's got the big gloves on. Law bounced to Bernazard his first time at bat. Cruz aboard. Moore goes over there, and Julio just back in time, almost slipping. again, ready to go. From the stretch. Again over there. Julio back in time. The outfield playing Law to hit to the opposite field. Cole's in on the grass at third. As Moore set. Checks Cruz. Law to bunt, fouls it away. Rudy has got to get the bat out. He cannot get the bat out over the plate.
There's two philosophies on that as far as getting the bat out. If you make a mistake with it, which a lot of coaches will tell you, you make a mistake because you get the bat head too far out in front. Because if you get it too far out in front, you make a mistake there. At least if you foul it, you're going to foul it on the ground. When you lay that bat head back like he did right there, you can pop it up very, very easily.
Moore ready. There goes Cruz. The pitch is strike. Throw. Not in time. Julio Cruz is 52nd stolen base of the year, and he had a good jump.
Little Jimmy Nelson came out of that box from behind the plate in a hurry with a very strong throw, as Cruz did get a good jump right there. Go into the runner just a bit, hitting the juice. Stolen base number 143 for the Sox this year.
Now the count is 0-2 as the pitch was called a strike. Now here's where Law has just got to concentrate on contact. Cruz, third in the American League with stolen bases, standing at second base. Nobody out. We're in the bottom of the third. Rains have stopped. Moore. Out of the stretch, the pitch to Law is hit to right field. Hit well. Nelson's there tagging Cruz. Nelson with a catch, and he's got a good arm. Throws. It's cut off by the shortstop, Owen. And Cruz scampers back to the bag. Well, there's one away, and that'll bring on Carlton Fisk.
Nice effort right there by Rudy Law with the two strikes off a guy like Mike Moore. Good movement on the fastball, throws hard, good breaking ball. Even with the two strikes trying to get the head out. And unfortunately, hit it too hard.
Carlton Fisk stands in. He singled his first time at bat. The Sox have won 5 of the 6 contests. With Seattle, they are 3-0 here at Comiskey Park. Moore from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Fisk, and the curveball is in and over. Strike one call.
And for obvious reasons, Tony Bernazard is going to try to hold Cruz close at second.
Now you've got the obvious of the shortstop, in essence, being way over in the hole, and that's Spike Owen for the Mariners. Moore out of the stretch as Bernazard backs off, and the pitch is outside, and the count 1-1. Boy, this guy has the makings of something good. One ball and one strike to count. Moore again from the belt. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a little looper hit to the shortstop, Owen. He has it. That is out number 2. He really took the bat out of Fisk's hands.
Carlton's going to have to put that one in the garage.
That'll bring on Harold Baines. Baines struck out looking his first time at bat. gives the sign. Cruz away at second base. Moore kicks and delivers a change low and away, and the count 1-0. On ball and no strikes to count. The outfield plays Baines to pull. The infield the same. As Moore sets and delivers, and a ground ball. Bernazard out in short right field. Has it, goes to Putnam in time, and the side is retired. So Cruz left stranded at second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left after 3, no score.
I recently saw where a Honda Civic ran the Indy 581. Must be a mistake. So I called Honda. No, it was official, they said. The U.S. Auto Club drove 3 1983 Honda Civic 1300 FE hatchbacks around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway until they ran out of gas. They ran 578 and 581 and 604 miles. The EPA went even farther, I was told. They made the Civic FE the best gasoline mileage car in America. EPA estimated 46 miles per gallon and 59 highway. Use 46 for comparison only. And you can expect actual highway mileage to be less. But it was no mistake. The Honda Civic ran the Indy 581. The Indy 581 kind of grows on you.
Talk baseball with Pearsall after the game on WMAQ.
Hi, Bob Hope for Texaco. You hear the knocking in that car? Now Texaco Star Power helps you knock out the knocks with the highest octanes you can get. Texaco Premium Unleaded with ethanol at 92 octane. New Super Regular with ethanol at 91 octane. Unleaded with ethanol at 89 octane. Get Texaco Star Power, the highest octanes you can get to help knock out the knocks in your car. Texaco Star Power for car power.
Along with Ken Harrelson, I'm Don Drysdale. Happy you've joined us tonight. Sorry for the little tardy start, but that's the way that Mother Nature meant it to be. And we're through 3 here in the first of a 4-game series with the Seattle Mariners. After 3 complete, no score as we go to the 4th, and here's Ken.
All right, Donnie. So far, this tardy start has not hindered Lamar Hoyt whatsoever. He has retired the first 9 Mariner batters. Here in the top of the 4th, it'll be Owen, Bernazard, and Renicky. Is Lamar going after his 21st victory of the season? So Spike Owen steps in. Spike out of the University of Texas. Bounced back 1-3 in the first inning. As Hoyt has a sign, wind kicks. Here comes a big right-hander fastball right on the outside corner to knees, and it's 0-1. Owen making his major league debut just prior to the Sox last visit to the Kingdome. He is 5 for 15 against Sox pitching in 83. As that pitch inside the number 1, and it's a ball and a strike. Lamar has won 9 in a row and 11 of his last 12 ball games. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Slow curve, hit foul down by Vela Pinson, the coach at first, and it's 1-2. Now the rain starting to fall. Same type drizzle that has been here for the last several hours. Hour and 59-minute rain delay. Taking a little time, little switch hitter steps back in. Outfield shaded to the left as Hoyt with a big kick delivers fastball outside. It's 2-2. In fact, the first 3 hitters in the Mariner order are switch hitters: Owen, Bernazard, and Renicky. And they have 7 on their club, which is high in the major leagues. And the time is called as Owen backs out. Just 22 years old. We have some youngsters on this Seattle roster. Owen, 22. Darnell Cole's a third baseman, just 21. Nelson 24. That's Jamie and Ricky as that pitch just misses. Fisk wanted it. And it's a full count. Lamar just shrugs his shoulders. Says, give it to me. Give it to me. I'll take him myself. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fastball up high. He walks in. So the first Mariner base runner. That'll bring up Tony Bernazard, who struck out on a bad pitch back in the first. Hoyt has 2 strikeouts thus far, Bernazard and Ricky Nelson. Tony, a long look down at third base coach Chuck Cottier. Outfield as the rain starts to fall harder. Hoyt goes over to first, not in time. Owen has 10 stolen bases in 16 attempts this year. Here's the pitch as Bernazard squared the bunt, takes it outside, and it's 1-0. Once again, Hoyt wanted that one. As we mentioned last inning, the only thing that's saving this game thus far is that it's coming over the first base roof, and that somewhat protects home plate and the pitcher's mound as opposed to the shortstop, left field, center field position. That wind stops, they're going to be in trouble.
I think that's the whole thing that's keeping them right where they are right now, Kenny, is that wind.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Bernazard squares the bunt, takes a strike on the outside corner. He does not like that call, so Ted Hendry catching it from everybody. 1-1 to count.
Now you can see what Crandall's thinking about here. 4th inning. Raining hard again. See if I can steal one. Be ahead through 5, and then we'll let Mother Nature take its course.
Well, against the 20-game winner, even if it's 90 degrees and sunshiny, you might want to think the same way. But Dell certainly bringing that into play. Hoyt over to first. Owen back in easily. Tony's hitting 8 of his last 9 ball games. Bernazard doing a good job for Seattle. Squares the bunt once again. Foul tips it, and that gets a piece of home plate umpire Hendry, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes as Law and Pashuric were charging.
That's when the umpire knows that hitter is saying, that'll teach you. Call that first pitch outside on me. Now take that. But you don't dare say it.
Now Rudy Law moves about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps over into left center field. As Hoyt kicks, coming to the plate, change-up swung on. Rudy Law will take it as he moves over into left center. Hauls it in for out number 1.
That ball looked like it just took off on Lamar. It got towards home plate and it started rising. I had to find out why they're using the Sox batting helmet. And what happened?
Well, what'd you find out?
Well, they left the batting helmet trunk in the clubhouse in Seattle last night.
That's good enough reason.
Yep. Be here tomorrow.
Now Lamar behind the pitcher's mound, taking some of that dirt out of his spikes. Climbs back up on top as center fielder Ron Renicky steps in. Renicky hitting at .262, 3 homers, 17 RBIs. He popped to Fisk back in the first inning. Ron, 27 years old, as Don told you earlier, he was released by the Dodgers, picked up by the Mariners. Hoyt from the stretch has a sign. Checks the runner, now goes over to Pashuric for the second time. Minnesota beat Toronto 6-2. Pitch, striking it over the inside corner. 0-1 the count to Renicky.
Well, you knew that Ron would probably go with Seattle if he could possibly work out the financial situation up there. He played for Dell down at Albuquerque, so they knew each other very well, and Dell wanted him up there and said, look it, you come on up here, you're going to play every day, and that's all that he's asked to do.
Law in on the grass as that fastball misses high and outside, a ball and a strike. Dodgers over Drysdale's Astros 6-0 at the Astrodome.
Astros are starting to gurgle.
Ball is striking out here in the top of the fourth, no score. That pitch, he tries to backdoor him with a curveball, misses outside, and it's 2-1. Montreal beat the Phillies at Veterans Stadium 4-1. Of course, we'll have all the scores later on for you in this game. And on the postgame show as Owen takes off, pitch swung on, fouled off the mask of Fisk. And the count evens up at 2-2. Owen, not a real big jump right there. Had a short lead. And the Pirates, behind a grand slam home run off the bat of Richie Hedner, got a hanging slider from Lee Smith with the bases loaded and just hurt it. That's the last pitch in the world you'd think that Lee Smith would get beat on.
Yes, sir, in that situation.
That's not what got him to be an ace reliever. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit hard. Just foul down the first baseline as Pashuric made a nice effort to get back as he was coming off the bag with the pitch. And foul by about a foot.
Well, that was a fortunate break right there that he hooked that ball foul, because if that ball goes down the line and Bain's got to go all through that wet grass and over on the wet gravel, Owen's got good speed. They're liable to pick up a run.
All right, a little easy toss over to Tommy. In that Dodgers 6-0 shutout over the Astros, it was Alejandro Pena picking up his 12th victory of the year. He's lost 6 times, and Nolan Ryan, the loser, he is 13-8. Here's the pitch to the plate, swung on line into center field. That'll be a base hit. Rudy Law slips as now Owen does not stop as he rounds second base. Now they're going to get the man trapped off. At first they get him in a rundown. Renicky. They make the tag. Now Pashuric with a throw to home plate. It's going to be a double play. As Owen tries to score. Nice play. Heads up play. Good throw by Tom Pashuric. They got Renicky in the rundown. But Tommy, watching home plate and Owen all the way, made the tag and then fired a perfect throw, a perfect tag to fifth. So that'll take the Mariners out of the fourth, nothing across. There was a hit, nobody left, and after 3.5, no score.
Kodak redefines color photography with 4 new 35mm color print films. One film so sharp it can pick up every petal on a rose bush. Another so versatile it can capture a treehouse in changing light. A high-speed film that can catch all the color of a trapeze artist. Even a film so sensitive it can shoot a stained glass window by available light. Kodacolor VR, 100, 200, 400, and 1,000 films from Kodak.
How are you doing, everybody? This is Chet Kopic of Channel 5 Sports. Don't forget, coming up at 10 p.m. tonight on our Channel 5 News, as always, we'll be live at Comiskey Park for a full report with highlights of this ball game you're listening to right now between the White Sox and the Seattle Mariners. White Sox trying to drop that magic number down to 2. We'll have Cubs-Pirates highlights, update all the divisional races for you. So join me tonight at 10 p.m. along with Ron Majors, Linda Yu, and Jim Tillman on Chicago's Channel 5 News.
Let's see, 12 typewriters cost us.
You've invested a lot in the tools of your trade.
2 word processors.
You want them to pay off.
3 copiers and some pictures.
You want to keep them busy.
6 phone lines, they belong in this column.
That's why you also invest in the Yellow Pages, where your ad is on the job in homes and businesses.
Executive chairs, brown leather with brass.
The Bell System Yellow Pages. It's the small investment that keeps your big investments paying off.
15 not-so-executive chairs.
The Bull, Greg Luzinski, leads off the bottom of the fourth inning. No score. Sox caught a break right there on a double play. 8-6-4-3-2. Here's Luzinski, 0 for 1, takes the breaking ball, a curve low from Mike Moore, the right-hander. Moore, both feet on the rubber, now rocks into motion. Kicks, delivers, fastball, swung on a miss. Both 3 for 20 against Mariner pitching this year. He has 1 homer, 2 RBIs as Moore delivers. Down low, and it's 2-1. Bull also has that -6 game hitting streak. 0-1-0 for the Sox, 0-1-1 for the Mariners. Here comes Moore. That breaking ball, good one. Outside half, knee high, and the count evens up at 2. First of a 4-game set, and the first of the 7-game homestand, the last homestand for 1983. Moore kicks and delivers up high, and it's a full count. Outfield swung around to the left. Rain starting to fall just a wee bit harder now. As here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on, high drive deep into left center field. Going back, looking up, put it on the board. Home run for Luzinski. His 30th of the season, and the Sox lead it 1-0.
Tonight, even though the breeze blowing out there, a damp night, and that ball's not going to really jump. But he got a breaking pitch over the plate, and he, with his strength, just hit it right to the left of the Sox bullpen, and it was back in there a good way. So a 1-0 Sox lead, and here's Tom Paciori. Tommy struck out back in the second. As Moore delivers, fastball. He swings right through it. This is the first year since 1978 where the Phillies that Luzinski has gone to the 30 mark. He hit 35 that year. 77, he hit 39. And in 75, he hit 34 with Philadelphia. So the Bull now with 30 home runs, and he has 86 RBIs. As Moore delivers, fastball inside, jammed him, swung on, foul back against the screen, and it's 0-2. Tommy just fighting that pitch off. That's the 140th home run of the year for the Sox. Moore nods yes to his battery mate, Jamie Nelson. Kicks, delivers, drops down a little bit, misses the outside corner with a good fastball. And it's 1-2. Big leg kick as Moore delivers. Breaking ball, hard slider down and away, and it's 2-2. Rain still blowing in sheet out towards left. As the 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on, hit foul over by the Sox dugout. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Paciori. Fastball swung on, foul back. That'll be off the side of the roof. So that home run by Luzinski establishes a new club record in 2 categories, 2 departments. Most home runs by 2 Sox players in the season, that being Luzinski and Kittle of 62. That broke the record, old record of set in 77 by Ziff and Oscar Gamble. That pitch misses low, and it's a full count to Tommy. And also breaks the club record
of the most home runs by 3 players, Luzinski, Kittle, and Fisk. They now number 87. Here's the payoff pitch to Tom. Swung on, foul hard off the basket. Hanging on the upper deck, right side, and the count remains full at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, jams in, little fly ball in the left field. Steve Henderson's there. Coming in a few steps, hauls it in, and that's out number 1. Now the rain lets up. Thank goodness. Run on 2 hits, no errors for the Sox, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error for the Mariners. Here comes the big man from Gary. Ronnie with 2 strikes. His first at bat, tried to bunt, fouled it off. He had swung at 2 pitches, but forgot that he had 2 strikes. Power to power right here, as that breaking ball just waved at. Ronnie, 32 homers, 90 RBIs. Outfield swung around to the left as Moore drops down, fastball right on the outside corner at the knees, and quickly it's 0-2. Ron is hitting 13 of his last 14 ball games. As Nelson moves to the outside, pitch misses out there, gets away from him, goes all the way to the backstop. Ball and 2 strikes.
On that pitch, Moore's front foot slipped a little bit.
In case you just tuned in, we're in the bottom of the 4th inning after an hour, 59-minute rain delay. That breaking ball low and away, and it's 2-2. And just a whole bunch of good fans in the stands.
Ah, they're having fun.
Oh, sure. I'll tell you.
I guess when you Ken, not being around this weather all my life, and I guess when you're used to this kind of weather, you can have fun anywhere.
Better way to put it, being around for the first time in your life.
That's it.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 3. So 3 consecutive hitters. Mike Moore goes to the full count on. Of course, Luzinski lit him up, leading off the inning. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Went right through a fastball on the outer half. So that's the 4th strikeout for Moore. 2 out. And that'll bring up Vance Law. Vance drew one of the 2 walks issued thus far by Moore back in the 2nd inning. Vance 4 for 18 against Mariner pitching this year with a home run and 2 ribbies. Outfield swings around to the right as Moore, ready to work, delivers. Fastball up high.
Well, I'll tell you, it'll get your feet just a little loose at that plate when you see that pitcher that can throw as hard as Moore, and all of a sudden his front foot starts to slip a little.
1-0 pitch. Outside another fastball, and it's 2-0. The fans, if you can't get to the game but want to see the Sox at home, now's the time to call Centel Cable. Through the remainder of the regular season schedule, has the pitch on its way, strike in and over, 2-1. Through the remainder of the regular season schedule, Centel will bring White Sox games available only on Sports Vision into your home for just $3 per game. And if you live in the Lansing, Thornton area, call Centel at 474-4417 as he swings and misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Centel subscribers in Matson and Park Forest South can call Centel at 748-8800. Orders must be received at least 24 hours in advance during regular business hours. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Vance outside. So far, the 4th hitter in a row, he goes full. Here's the payoff pitch. Jammed in, lined right side over the Mariner dugout out of play back into the seat. Count remains 3-2. And during the next inning, we will go over all the Major League scores for you. Once again, the 3-2 pitch. On the inside corner, call strike 3. Good fastball by Moore, and that'll take the Sox out here in the 4th. But not before they break the ice. Coming up with a run on Greg Luzinski's 30th homer of the year. And after 4, it's 1-0 White Sox.
You've worked so hard and come so far. It takes your best to make it. It feels so good. You knew it would. Your moment's here, so take it. Bring out your best. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light. Bring out your best. You found the best, pass by the rest. You've earned it all, now taste it. Budweiser Light.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
There's a new product at your food store that kids love. Schneider's String Cheese. Schneider's String Cheese is the 100% natural snack kids love because it's made with good Wisconsin milk. Kids love to peel it in long strips and gobble it up. And best of all, Schneider's String Cheese is good for kids to eat. Look for Schneider's String Cheese and other Schneider cheese products at fine food stores in your area. Schneider's String Cheese. Get some for the kids and a little extra for yourself.
Top of the 5th inning, Sox leading 1-0. And here in the 5th for the Mariners, it'll be Putnam, Cowens, and Steve Henderson. Run on 2 hits, no errors for the Sox. No runs, just 1 hit, 1 error for Seattle. Pat Putnam steps in. He is 0 for 1, bounced out 4-3 back in the 2nd inning. As Hoyt has a sign, big right-hander kicks, delivers, fastball, a sinker catches the outside corner right at the knees, and it's 0-1. Putnam, 29-year-old first baseman, now 2 for 20 on the season against Sox pitching. As here comes a 1-strike pitch up high with a fastball. It's 1-1. And for all our Chi Sox Club members and people who want to attend, there's been a change in our schedule. It'll be Monday. Our next meeting will be Monday the 19th at the McCormick Inn. There's a change. Big swing and a miss as Putnam could not stay back, and it's 1-2. But our next Chi Sox Club meeting, Monday the 19th at the McCormick Inn, and it's going to be an all-White Sox extravaganza. We will not have players from the Minnesota Twins. It'll be all White Sox players for our final regular season meeting. That pitch right there by Hoyt. He wanted it as he tried to backdoor him with the outside curveball. Missed, and it's 2-2. So for information on our Chi Sox Club meeting, just call the McCormick Inn at 791-1900. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Swung on, foul back on the screen. Count remains 2-2. And checking the Major League scoreboard for you, as we mentioned, it was the Dodgers over the Astros 6-0. Haney the winner, Ryan the loser. Cubbies were thumped by the Pirates 8-4 at Three River Stadium. McWilliams the winner 14-6. Charlie Rainey the loser. He's 14-11. Here's the next pitch. Swung on the fastball. High in left field. Kittle's there. So that's out number 1. 2 home runs in that ball game in the Cub-Pirate game. Ronnie Say is 21st for the Cubs, and Richie Hebner, his 4th of the year. That was a grand slammer in the 8th inning. Montreal over Philadelphia 4-1 at Veterans Stadium. Gullickson the winner 15-11. Gross the loser 4-6. 2 home runs. Francona and Matusek the second for both of them. Here's the designated hitter, Al Cowens. Takes the fastball inside corner. And in the final National League game, it was the Mets and a big victory over the Cardinals, 6-4 at Shea Stadium. 6-9-0 for the Mets, 4-9-2 for St. Louis. There's a ground ball left side. Fletcher in the hole. Now guns over to first base in time. Scotty setting very sure-footedly out there on that slick surface. And he just threw a seed over to Pashuric.
Well, that was a nice play by Scott Fletcher, and you knew that in his mind he was just wondering what was going to happen when he went to set and throw. But he set pretty good. He took a pretty good divot and then bounced and set and threw.
Well, the first thing you try to do right there is you don't set your heel, you set your toes in, as he did. And that is where that divot came up. So one more out before it's an official ball game as the drizzle continues. Here at Comiskey Park as the left fielder Steve Henderson steps in. A little comebacker back to Lamar. That was in the second inning. Here's the first pitch. Catches the outside corner to knees. Henderson doesn't like it. And that Met victory over the Cardinals, it was Lynch the winner, 10-9. LaPointe the loser, 12-9. 3 home runs in that ball game for St. Louis. Porter is 15th. Lonnie Smith is 6th. And for the Mets, George Foster, his 25th. One strike pitch, fastball, swung on, fouled out of play. Right side up over the roof, and it's 0-2. Only 3 other games in the American League. The Rangers over the Oakland A's 6-5. Schmidt the winner, 3-3. Kymore the loser, 6-9. Wright and Dent homered for Texas. Red Sox beat Baltimore 7-1 at Fenway Park. Hurst the winner, 12-10. Davis the loser, 12-6. Ripken, the only home run, is 24th. 2-strike pitch to Henderson, low and away. And in the final American League game, the Twins at the Metrodome over Toronto 6-2. Ken Schramm the winner, 13-7. Steve the loser, 15-12. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball right side, so this is going to make it an official game as Cruz, 2-hopper over to Pashuric. And that'll do it a 1-2 inning for Hoyt here in the top of the 5th. After 4.5, it's the Sox leading 1-0.
Central Tire keeps you on the road. Central Tire has brand names you know. For a great grip and a fit that's sound, at Central Tire, we're always around.
At Central Tire in Chicago and Cicero, get the best steel-belted radial tire B.F. Goodrich makes at its lowest price ever. The XLM HT is the all-season tire that provides excellent traction in both winter and summer, on wet or dry roads. A polyester cord body and 2 full steel belts give you a smooth, quiet ride and long-lasting performance. The XLM HT radial delivers outstanding handling and fuel savings. Get the B.F. Goodrich XLM HT radial tire now through September 30th at its lowest price ever. Get it at all 5 Central Tire locations and see how BFG's best just got better.
Central Tire, we're always around. Central Tire.
Central Tire with 5 B.F. Goodrich locations, including Roosevelt near Austin and Cicero, and 728 South Clinton in downtown Chicago.
The White Sox WMAQ.
Now to present the Star Power High Octane Award, Bob Hope.
Hi, tonight's awards are for the highest octanes you can get. Envelope, please. And the winners are Texaco Unleaded with ethanol at 89 octane, New Super Regular with ethanol at 91, and Premium Unleaded with ethanol at 92. Texaco Star Power helps knock out the knocks with the highest octanes you can get. Texaco Star Power for car power.
Before they start the bottom of the 5th, let's pause for station identification. This is the White Sox Radio Network.
Keep it right here for complete coverage of all the baseball races tomorrow morning on 67 WMAQ Chicago. Stay with the Sox. Stay with WMAQ. It's 11:01.
With Don Drysdale, this is Ken Harrelson from Comiskey Park on a chilly, rainy evening here in the Windy City. Sox leading 1-0 on the strength of Greg Luzinski's 30th homer of the season. The shot into the left field stands. But right here, Scotty Fletcher leads it all. Big right-hander Mike Moore kicks and delivers. The fastball catches the outside corner right at the knees. Scott 0 for 1. Bounced out 6-3 back in the second. The outfield swung around to the right. Darnell Coles, the Mariner third baseman, even with the bag at third. As here's a 1-strike pitch. Fastball inside. It's 1-1. Steady drizzle. Continues to fall. As you just mentioned, Donnie boy, before the game, doesn't give you a plug nickel for the chances of getting this one in. That pitch low and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Not at all. Boy, about 8:30. It was just coming down solid.
Scotty steps back in, straightaway stance as Moore delivers down low, ball 3. So last inning, Moore faced 4 hitters, went to the full count on each and every one. And right here, he's 3-1 on Scott.
I think you hit the nail on the head a little while ago, Kenny, when you mentioned I think the wind has been the only factor.
Yes, sir. It has given somewhat of a shelter to the home plate and pitcher's mound area, even though they are still very, very wet. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Up high, he walks in. No question, had that wind been blowing in from the west rather than the east this game, no chance. Now it's starting to fall much harder. Of course, Sox players would love to see it just come in buckets right now.
Exactly. And the second base umpire, Al Clark, looking up into the lights. Rain falling harder, and he just goes to the gloves as he's standing at second base.
Here's Julio Cruz. Drew a walk, stole a base back in the third. Stolen base is 52nd of the season. As Cole's in on the grass at third. Moore checks Fletcher at first. Kicks coming to the plate. It just swung on the fastball. That's Julio trying to drill it right down the nose of Darnell Coles.
Well, not a bad thought right there, as long as you got the green light on that first pitch and that third baseman standing right in there shaking hands with you.
That's still not the point right there when you get a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Oh, well. You're going to go that way anyway.
He was a little tardy with that one. That ball was in the mitt of Jamie Nelson before he got anywhere close to it. Little toss over to first base, not in time. Here's the 0-1 pitch as he squares the bunt. He does so, pops it up. Coles with a diving effort in foul territory. Can't quite get there.
A good effort by the young third baseman of the Mariners. That ball just kind of slicing away from him, coming off of the bat of Cruz, who's bunting left-handed. Made a good effort, just was not long enough.
Coles, just 21 years old. He was the Mariners' first pick back in the draft of 1980 out of San Bernardino. They tell us Dave Niehaus, the voice of the Mariners, tells us he's never played third before. They put him in there a few games ago, and he looks like Brooks Robinson. No ball, 2 strikes. Moore kicks. Here he comes. Swing and a miss. There's foul tip. And Nelson cannot hold on to it. Count remains 0-2. Of course, when you're 34 games under that 500 mark, as Dave Niehaus has seen every one of them, and he's been there with the Mariners a long time, start getting some sunspots and mirages. That do make for a long year. The outfield swung well around to the left for Cruz batting left-handed as Moore delivers inside. He has to skip rope, but doesn't. That is 1-2.
Matter of fact, you wouldn't have got an argument for Dave if they'd have got rained out tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon.
Fletcher, lead off first, bottom of the 5th inning. Sox on top 1-0. Here comes Moore, fastball high and away, and the count evens up at 2-2. $30,328 tonight. Boy, that is just a tribute. Nothing but the wanting to see their Sox play. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Almost hits him. Ball gets away from Nelson. Fletcher into second now makes a big turn as Nelson gets to it. So Scotty will hold at second base. It'll be a wild pitch and a full count to Cruz.
Now there was a case where Moore went down. That mound is slick again, and now the umpires are going out. Del Crandall came out. And they might want some more stuff put on. He went down, looked like his foot slipped and went through, and Jim Evans is going to call Roger Bossert out and said, give me some more compound.
So manager Del Crandall out to look at the pitcher's mound along with the umpires, and they have a whole congregation out there. And also the Mariner trainer out to check on his young right-hander.
Now, while we got some time, there's just a little reminder. It's not too early to begin thinking about White Sox season tickets for 1984. And there's no season ticket plans left for this season, but you can have your name put on a list to receive information about next year's season ticket plans by sending a letter or postcard with your name, address, and telephone number to 1984 season tickets, care of the White Sox, 324 West 35th Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60616.
No, sir. Not too early at all to start thinking about 1984, as the Sox have put a hurt on the American League West here in '83. Roger Bossert, boy, he is just a super groundsman out there. Has a good crew, and what a magnificent job he has done this year in getting this park, which you'll all recall several seasons ago was absolutely one of the worst playing surfaces in all of baseball. He has done a tremendous job out there now with that absorption compound, pouring it all over the pitcher's mouth. And also, while we have a chance, we'll just recap a little bit. Not a whole bunch to recap as the rain starts to fall even harder now. Mariners, no runs on just one hit. That was a single in the fourth inning by Ron Renicky, a sharp single to center field. And at that point, Spike Owen was on first base with a leadoff walk. Then Bernazard went out to center. So Owen, on the single to Ron Renicky, went into third base easily as Rudy Law came up, slipped, I should say, as he took the one hopper off the bat of Renicky. But then when Renicky saw the slip by Law, he tried to go to second base. They got him in a rundown, and Tom Paciorek very, very alertly was keeping an eye on Owen at third and Renicky. So he made the tag on Renicky as Spike Owen broke for home. They threw to home plate and completed the double play. So that was the only real threat, as Hoyt had retired the first 9 Mariner batters in a row. Sox came up with their run. That was last inning, a leadoff home run by the Bull, Greg Luzinski. What a great year the Bull is having now with 30 home runs and 86 RBIs. And that's all she wrote thus far. So Bossert gets his job done with the compound. He'll go back to the dugout and play will resume.
And it's just going to take that pitcher a few more times sliding down like that, Kenny, and that very well could be all.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Cruz. Fletcher at second. Bottom of the 5th, nobody out. Activity in the Sox bullpen as Randy Martz and Kevin Hickey start to loosen up. But Moore has the sign. Checks Fletcher. Kicks coming to the plate. Outside, he walks it. 4th walk issued by Moore. And Tony La Russa, seeing what's happening out there with Moore, certainly does not want to take any chance whatsoever with Lamar Hoyt. But that goes with the territory when you're in a bullpen.
Well, that's exactly right. And I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see what Lamar feels like going back out there, whether he's had the problem. I could see where Moore is going to have a bigger problem than Lamar Hoyt. Number one, he's taller, he's got a longer stride, and just the driving through, you can see why he will have the problem.
Here's Rudy Law as he swings away, hits it into right center field. Ricky Nelson back as Fletcher tagged. The throw into second base. Fletcher slides into third, so there's one out. Sox have Fletcher at third, Cruz at first. Well, anytime you get a big, tall power pitcher out there, they're certainly going to have more trouble with that sliding on a slick surface than a finesse pitcher like Lamar.
And also, you've got the other factor. You've got that inner thinking out there, if you're Moore, wondering exactly every time you throw that ball, indeed, when that foot is going to slip. And about the time you forget and you say, I'm going to drive right on through with it, your foot slips. Now you back off a little bit. There you go, changing your motion a little bit. So you've got a chance to be wild and or hurt yourself. And that's got to be something in the back of the mind of Del Crandall if they're indeed thinking about that.
It's that mental flinch.
That's right.
Here's Carlton Fisk. Carlton, 1 for 2, had a first inning single as Moore goes over to first base. Cruz back in. And the rain coming down. That heavy drizzle now. Moore has the sign. Nelson moves to the outside. Pitch out, nothing on. With the 30,328 in attendance tonight, Sox now have drawn 1,940,745, which leaves them just 59,255 short of the 2 million mark. Now Moore backs off, fakes the third, goes back to first, and Cruz not fooled by the ploy.
And to be careful throwing right there because he was throwing on that wet side of the mound on the first base side where there's not any absorption compound.
Fisk set, so is Moore. From the set now, quickly over to first base. Cruz easily back in. With that first inning single, Carlton now has hit safely in 16 of his last 17 games.
It's blowing hard out there. Al Clark I just caught him looking over at the third base umpire, Jim Evans, who's the crew chief.
Moore's ready. Trying to fake Cruz out with a head movement. Now goes over there. Well, a woman can only get so mad. And a field can only take so much. And this is just coming down, as Don mentioned earlier, in sheets now. Moore once again over to first base.
The only difference being you can put a tarp on the field.
That's right. Got to put a gag somewhere. You're in big trouble. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Carlton. Took a little something off, and a weak swing by Pudge. It's 1-1. I don't know about other guys, but I sure would be. I just got to sit there and listen. But, of course, God bless them. That's their prerogative. Ball is striking out. Fletcher at third, Cruz at first. Julio with a little bigger lead now as Moore sees it, goes over there. Once again, this time a little harder over to first base. Fans starting to hoot a little bit at Moore. Carlton backs out, wipes the bat between his legs to dry it off a bit. You're terrible. He's set now. Kicks. Here he comes to the plate. Fastball misses inside, and it's 2-1. Continuing to come down hard.
Oh, it is just nasty out there.
From the stretch, Moore checks Cruz. Coming to the plate, swung on late by Carlton, fouled up over the roof. And it's 2-2. And, of course, if you're out there, which many of our listeners are, so happy to have you on the White Sox Radio Network. But if you're out there in your car, please be so careful. It's just not worth it to try to do anything funny out there on the slick and slippery pavement. Slow it down. Back it down. Two balls, two strikes. Moore once again over to first base. Cruz getting a lot of attention from his former teammate. Pudge waiting patiently now. Set. Cocks the bat. Moore kicks coming to the plate. Inside with a heater. And it's a full count. And you just got to feel with all the pitches that young right-hander has thrown in this cold, not cold, but cool, damp weather. Bill Crandall going to have to start thinking about making a change here.
Now you look at the outfield, and they're just kind of standing in out there, got their hands in their back pockets, got their shoulders hunched up.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Cruz, a good lead. He takes off. Moore coming to the plate. Swung on a line shot right to the third baseman, Darnell Coles, who easily doubles up Cruz at first base. So Carlson hit it right on the screws. That'll do it for the Sox. They have an excellent opportunity as it goes by the board. And after 5 innings, it's the Sox leading Seattle in the first of a 4-game set, 1-0.
Well, as soon as you start to see that infield starting to glisten, Kenny, that's when I think Jim Evans is going to take it a little more serious than what he is right now. He was there. The umpires will cooperate with management in trying to get the game started, especially the last trip of the year, and also especially since the Sox are in that pennant race. But they waited around. They finally got it started. He's about to say, okay, boys, you want to go, keep going.
Here's Darnell Coles, jams him, saws him off. Cruz coming in from the right side, underhanded toss over to Tommy as he shuffles it over there. And there's 2 quick outs. I mean, he just ate him up in the kitchen. And we were talking about the number of pitches that Mike Moore has thrown. Through the first 5 innings, Lamar Hoyt has thrown 67 pitches. And that's now 5 2/3 for Lamar. And through the first 5 innings for Mike Moore, he's thrown 106. So with 2 out, here's the catcher, Jamie Nelson. Well, there's a piece of work right there, isn't it? David Niehaus, the voice of the Mariners. His first pitch to Nelson, breaking ball outside.
Davis, did this just kind of cap off a nice 1983 season?
I really think it does, Don. Tony Bernazard missed winning a ball game last time by about a foot. We had a guy fall off the mound for a balk, so this is the way it goes.
That Baker catches the outside corner at the knees, 1-1.
But from Seattle, you're used to this kind of weather.
No, I'm not, because we play indoors.
Here comes Lamar with that big leg kick. Breaking ball hit down the first baseline by Tom Paciori. Tommy slipping just a little bit as he started. And now Jamie Nelson also doing the first thing as he tried to slow up. He slipped himself. So that'll be a hit. Only the second hit issued by Hoyt. Given up by Lamar.
Now that infield, I mentioned before, starting to glisten a little bit now. And I don't know how well you can see that down on the field, but boy, you can sure see it up here.
So a 2-out base runner, and here's the top of the order, the shortstop. Little switch hitting Spike Owen. Bounced back 1-3 in the first and walked in the fourth.
The thing about it, you got to think about how much water can that infield take, because they're going to put the tarp on it tonight. And they say there's supposed to be rain tomorrow. When will they be able to get that tarp off to let it dry?
Fastball up high. Well, as Yogi would say, be a lot of mildew out there. Ball and no strikes. Top of the 6th. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Mariners. A run on 2 hits, no errors for the Sox. Has the sign coming to the plate. Swing and a miss on the fastball right through it. And it's 1-1. Tell you what, it's just, to say the least, at best, miserable.
I've seen umpires let games like this go. Rain all night, all day the next day. Close to game time and not be able to get the field playable.
That pitch low and inside, 2-1. Well, I've seen 9 innings played in harder rain than this. We did it one night at Fenway Park against the Yankees. And I mean, we went 10 innings, and it was at least this hard from the second inning on.
Jim Evans starting to look around a little bit more now. He's surveying the situation a little bit more.
2-1 pitch. Ground ball. Chopper right side. Cruz will take this one. Underhanded over to Tommy, and that'll take the Mariners here. Take him right on out of the sixth. Nothing across. There was a hit, no errors, a man left. That's the first man the Mariners have left stranded in this game. And after 5 1/2, 1-0 Sox.
When our kids were ready for college, we needed to come up with a lot of money.
So we went to General Finance and applied for a home equity loan. We got an okay the next day, and the loan was completed just a few days after that.
If your home is worth more than your mortgage, you've got equity that you may be able to turn into cash with a General Finance home equity loan.
We got our college money through General Finance. No hidden charges. We knew exactly what our loan would cost.
The mortgage on our house and its low interest rate wasn't involved.
Our General Finance manager explained several different payment plans, and we picked the one that worked best for our budget.
With satisfied customers all over the country, you know that General Finance can help you with a home equity loan. Borrow $5,000, $15,000, $20,000 or more for your kids' education, a summer home, an investment. Use it any way you want.
Our son is going to Missouri, and our daughter to Michigan.
The kids are out of the house, thanks to General Finance.
Call General Finance for a large home equity loan up to $50,000 or for a smaller consumer loan. See the white pages for the office nearest you.
Baseball with Pearsall, weekday mornings on WMAQ.
Now save on Motorcraft spark plugs and oil filters, products proven in $1 million experimental cars. Plus other Motorcraft products like gas-saving super premium oil. Up to $6.50 in refunds through October 31st with proof of purchase during Motorcraft's truckload of value. Quality parts for all makes of cars. Motorcraft exceeds the need.
Available at the following Motorcraft retailers: Car Parts at Fox Lake on Nippersink in Fox Lake, and A&J Auto Parts on West Algonquin Road in Mount Prospect.
Bottom of the sixth inning, and once again, Roger Bossard and some of his crew out there trying to get things. Well, you can't get it playable to the extent of any kind of footing whatsoever, but he's trying to do the best he can, and that's all he can do. He's got that absorption compound for the fourth time in this game, spreading it out on the mound. They have dumped the whole sack at third base. That infield now starting to show little puddles of water out there.
I can see where first base umpire Greg Koska is going over halfway between first and second. You can see the drops falling in that water.
Sox on top, 1-0. Run on 2 hits. And you really have to give Lamar Hoyt and young Mike Moore nothing but a big accolade right here for pitching this well under these very inclement conditions. Moore has concluded his warm-up tosses as he as Bernazard waiting for the ball at second. And catcher Jamie Nelson just fires a rocket out into center field. So that's one for the bin. Take that one out of play. Checking some scores for you. The Red Sox beat the Orioles 7-1 at Fenway Park. It was Minnesota over the Blue Jays at the Hubert Humphrey Metrodome 6-2. Speed, the loser in that game. Rangers over Oakland at the Alameda Coliseum 6-5. In the National League, the Dodgers behind Alejandro Pena picking up his 12th victory of the season. Beat Nolan Ryan. They shut him out 6-0. Montreal over Philadelphia at Veterans Stadium 4-1. It was the Mets over the Cardinals at Shea Stadium 6-4. So just checking around here. Also, the Pirates beat the Cubbies. So the Dodgers now, with Atlanta being idle, now lead the National League West by 4.5 games. Tigers were idle tonight in the American League East, so with Baltimore's 7-1 loss to the Red Sox, the Tigers moved to 5 back. Yankees are not playing tonight, so they will move to 6.5 back as Harold Baines leads off the bottom of the sixth. Harold over 2. He was called out on strikes and bounced out to second. That sinker misses low and away. Harold this year hitting .381 with a homer, 2 RBIs against Mariner pitching. Also has a 10-game hitting streak on the line. Moore into the windup. Big young right-hander delivers. Swung on, popped up left side. Darnell Coles over on the warning track. And he drops the ball. Tried to one-hand it up there and now glances up at the sky as if to say, why me? So that'll be an error on Darnell Coles. That's his first major league error. a little high pop-up over there. Had plenty of time and misjudged. So Harold gets a reprieve, a redeemer. And the count 1-1. As Moore rocks, kicks. Big right-hander delivers outside. 2-1.
You look at that Sox dugout, Kenny, those steps, and it is raining pretty good.
Well, I think it may be getting to the point of stubbornness right now as he swings through that fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Point of principle.
If I had to bet, I wouldn't. I agree with you.
You wouldn't bet on anything unless it was a deadlock cinch. The Lockmaster. 2-2 pitch. Outside, full count to Bain. Here the fans come with Harold as the payoff pitch now on its way. Swung on, foul down the left field line. That'll be back in the seats. Look out. A couple rows as Stevie Henderson gets over there, but had foresight enough to slow up before he got to the railing. So the count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes to Harold. Sox have won 8 of their last 9. They are 10-3 in September. They've won 13 of their last 14 against the Western Division, and they have a 13-game winning streak here at Comiskey Park. Here's the payoff pitch. High outside, he walks in. 5th walk issued by Moore.
And slipped a little bit when he threw it. You know, when I saw games played this hard, Kenny, is when they first came out with those television packages, and they used to pay the clubs on performance when you were selected to play. And I've seen some games played like this, especially in St. Louis. I'll never forget one day. Bobby Lillis slid into second base and ended up just about on the outfield grass.
Here's the difference in the game. At the plate, Greg Luzinski swings and does not get the breaking ball. Bull hammered out his 30th homer of the season back in the 4th, leading off a shot into left center field about 8 rows back. Baines a decent lead at first. Outfield swung around to the left as Moore has the sign from the stretch, now goes over to first. Harold with that long last leap into the bag. Moore now checks his battery mate Jamie Nelson has the sign. Kicks, comes to the plate. Swung on line into the gap in left center field. Nobody's going to get this one. Baines around second. Trying to make sure of his footing is Jimmy Leland. Gives him the come on sign. He's going to score, and the Sox lead it 2-0.
Well, there was some good base running by Harold Baines, because that infield is treacherous out there on the dirt part, and the Bull hit it on the button. And he's going to come and give his glasses to Jimmy Leland. Bull started going into the rain. Couldn't get the wipers going. So he's out there without the specs on right now, but Harold Baines had to be so careful, and he did it very well. He took a wide turn around second base and angled his turn into the bag at third to where he didn't have to really cut it that hard, and scored with ease. So Luzinski with his 23rd double, knocking in his 87th run of the season. 2-0 Sox lead it. Here's Tom Paciorek. Tommy 0 for 2. Struck out and popped up to left field. Swings, trying to go the opposite way to get Bull to third. Fouls it back, and it's 0-1. Well, you saw the outfielders out there. Henderson in left, Renicky in center. And, of course, they have more flexibility and leeway to turn it loose than does Harold Baines. But they were having a little tough time in all that wetness. They're the guys you feel sorry for, the left fielders and the center fielders, especially the left fielder.
0-1 pitch line into right field by Bernazard, base hit. Luzinski had to hold up, and now the ball is bobbled by Ricky Nelson, but no advance. So Pasurik does indeed get the job done, and the Sox have runners at the corners, still nobody out.
Well, in all fairness to Ricky Nelson in right field, that ball, when he came in just about ready to field the ball, he sloshed through some water, and that ball just buried on him. As Del Crandall's going to go to the mound, he got a glove on it, slowed it down. And the bull had to hold up to make sure that the ball wasn't hit at Bernazar.
And there was a nice piece of hitting by Pasurik. Got a good fastball from the hard-throwing Mike Moore down and in. And as all you Sox fans know how well he can inside out it, that's exactly what he did. Waited nicely, inside and out it, tops the hands, and sets a line drive right by Bernazar. So Mike Moore is indeed going to depart. A pitching change, and with the pitching change, we'll take a timeout here in the bottom of the sixth. Sox with a run across, runners at the corners, nobody out, and they lead it 2-0.
Now the pitching change has been made. The grounds crew back out with that absorption compound. And right-hander Roy Thomas comes in. He's a big guy, a 6'6", 215-pound right-hander, born in Quantico, Virginia. Makes his home in St. Charles, Missouri. Thomas making his 40th appearance of the year, a record of 3-1 and a 3.33 earned run average. He has one save. He has worked in 81 innings, allowed 84 hits, 38 runs, 30 earned. He's given up 3 home runs. He has walked 28, and he has struck out 69. So another big right-hander. Oh, look at him take it away.
So Thomas coming on in relief of young right-hander Mike Moore, who did a good job. Mike going 5+ innings, and the partial line on him thus far is 2 runs, both earned, giving up just 4 hits, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. And the runners at first and third, respectively, Pasurik and Luzinski, are the responsibility of young Mike Moore. So the Sox leading 2-0 here in the first of this 4-game set, and the first of a 7-game homestand, the final homestand for 1983. They will play the Mariners here for 4, then the Sox will have Minnesota coming in for 3 games. That'll be on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. For the final game on Wednesday, the 21st, here at Comiskey Park, regular season home game. Then they will take off on a road trip to California for 4, off day on the 26th, Oakland for 3, and Seattle for 3. So Thomas has concluded his warm-up tosses as the rain continues to fall hard. I would say at this point, field getting, especially the infield, getting to the point of being unplayable.
Well, I still say it's going to be interesting to see what Roger will do. And if anybody can do it, Roger will be able to do it tomorrow. That rain continues through the night with that tarp over that wet infield, not a chance to dry out. Hopefully, why, they won't get any rain tomorrow, but that is not what the forecast calls for tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. Boy, it is bad.
Just looking at our monitor, they had a close-up of third base where Jimmy Leland was talking to Greg Luzinski, and they are standing in mud right on the baseline. So now here's Ron Kittle as Thomas has a sign. Big right-hander, rocks, kicks, delivers inside, almost hit him right in the left bicep. Ronnie 0 for 2 tonight. He was rung up 2 times by Mike Moore. Luzinski at third, Pasurik at first. Nobody out. Here he comes once again, breaking ball outside, and it's 2-0. Outfield almost equidistant as they have swung in unison around to the left. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on another breaking ball. Took a little something off. Had run well out in front, and it's 2 balls and a strike. In the game tomorrow night, it'll be Floyd Bannister going after his 15th victory against his former mate. He's 14-10. He will be opposed by the left-hander, Ryan Clark, who is 6-6. Now Kittle wants to take a little time, go over and either change bat or get some new gloves on, as he's going to change lumber. Then on Saturday evening, game time at 7:30, In the third game of this 4-game set, it'll be Jerry Kuzman, 10-7, against the big right-hander Jim Beattie, who's 8-12. And a finale on Sunday afternoon, 1:15, it'll be Richard Dotson going after his 19th victory of the year. He's 18-7 against Bob Stoddard, who is 7-15. 2 balls and a strike. Ron steps in. He's ready. As Thomas kicks, coming to the plate, swung on, hit hard. Fair ball down the left field line. Here comes Luzinski. He'll score. Pashuric now pulls into third. They hold him right there. As Kettle in the second with a double, and the Sox lead it 3-0. Boy, he smoked it.
He was off balance. He got that breaking pitch out there, and he just went out and well off his front foot. He was already spent, and it was just sheer arm strength that got that ball down the line.
So Ronnie now with 19 two-baggers on the year, and that's his 91st RBI. Here's the third baseman, Vance Law. Vance 0 for 1. He's walked and struck out. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Sox. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors for the Mariners. Left side halfway, right side in for Seattle as Thomas from the stretch now kicks and delivers. Pitch misses low and away. 1-0 to count. Thomas has a sign once again from the stretch. Delivers, swung on, hit hard, almost drilled Davey Nelson. Coach at first as Vance inside outed it. We don't have a relapse down there, Davey. That'll come close to causing it, I'll tell you. That one smoked at you like that. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Inside and high. 2 balls and a strike. Bernard and Putnam in. Spike going halfway at short. Darnell Cole's just about a step behind the line at third. There's a base hit in the hole between third and short. Here comes Pashuric. Here comes Kittle. A throw by Henderson. Gets away from the catcher. Kittle scores. Vance Law now on his way to third base as the pitcher gets it. Throws into third. They get in. So Roy Thomas backing up as the ball got by Davey Nelson. Had to come all the way back to the backstop. Meanwhile, 2-run score, and it's a 5-0 Sox lead.
Now Vance just could not pick up the ball. They had a play on Kittle at the plate, but the ball skipped by the catcher Nelson. And the pitcher, Thomas, very alertly backing up. It hit on that grass and scooted on him. Actually picked up speed. Vance Law hesitated at second and then went around, went on his way to third. And the throw was right there. A heads-up play by the pitcher. And a good call by Jim Evans at third.
So Vance now with his 39th and 40th RBIs of the year. And here's little Scotty Fletcher with 1 out. He's 0 for 1. Takes the ball. Next pitch to Scotty, swung on. Gets fouled on the right field line. Ricky Nelson giving chase, but it'll be in the first row. The ball and a strike. Maine started the inning off with a walk. Then a double by Luzinski, scoring Harrell. A single by Tom Pashuric to right field as Bull had to hold at third. Then a double by Kittle knocking in Luzinski, and a 2-run single by Vance Law knocking in Pashuric and Kittle. 5-6-0 for the Sox, 0-2-2 for Seattle. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Scott. Breaking ball, about a 56-footer. Thomas, another one of those pitchers who works from the stretch at all times. Next pitch is swung on. Little chopper. Back up the middle. Here comes the shortstop. Spike going. He can't come up with it. They're going to give him an error. As this thing right now has got a chance to become a farce. I'm not talking about the score. I'm talking about the playing conditions.
Well, it's awfully hard to tell what that ball's going to do right now, Kenny, on that slick grass on the infield that rained on all night long. You normally would look for a little bounce. That ball is just skidding out there, hugging the ground. And Owens, thinking the ball was going to come up a little bit, it just stayed right down on him.
But, Donnie, you can't tell. You can't tell. You got to watch your footing so much. So that's the third Mariner error. And here's Julio Cruz, who has walked twice tonight. Takes a fastball strike on the inside corner. Putnam playing behind Fletcher at first as that pitch misses down and in. 1-1 the count. Set. Big right-hander now delivers. There's a base hit right back through the middle. To the left of the shortstop, Spike Owen. Center fielder Ron Renick picks it up, gets it back in, and the game rolls on. Hits 5 of them now here in the bottom of the 6th. Now manager Del Crandall once again with that slow walk out to the mound. And in case you're wondering about how he has done as he took over from Rene Latchman. Under Latchman, the Mariners had a record of 26 and 48, and under Crandall, they have a record of 29 and 41. So indeed, he has signaled to the bullpen that a pitching change is in order, and with the pitching change, we'll take a timeout here in the bottom of the 6th once again, with the Sox leading Seattle 5-0. Right-hander Carl Best, another big right-hander on this Seattle ball club, a 6'4", 190-pounder, born in Aberdeen, Washington. Now makes his home in Kent, Washington. Right-hander, as he takes his warm-up toss, his best on the year, making his 4th appearance, a record of 0-1 with a 7.20 ERA. He's worked in only 5 innings, allowed 10 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He has walked 2, struck out 3, starting his professional career in 1978 at Stockton in the California League. Last 3 years, he has been at Lynn. Last year, recorded his first winning season with a record of 9-4. So the partial line on Roy Thomas, a third of an inning. Giving up the 1 run on 3 hits. And the runners, Scott Fletcher and Julio Cruz, his responsibility. So Carl Best, the third Mariner pitcher of the evening. Sox with a run in the 4th inning on Greg Luzinski's 30th homer. They're now coming up with 4 more here in the bottom of the 6th. And the rain continues to come down. No change, as it has for most of the evening. In case you just joined us on this, the White Sox Radio Network had an hour and 59-minute rain delay. Only had 2 little small breaks in there. And fortuitously for the Sox, fortunately, they had a chance to get the game started. Then it started coming down again, and that's where we stand. So Fletcher at second, Cruz at first, and here's Rudy Law. Rudy, hitless thus far, 0 for 3. Best taking the sign from Jamie Nelson has it. Right-hander kicks, delivers, fastball up and away. Boy, they got some horses out there on that Seattle staff, don't they?
Boy, they do. I'll tell you, you can see they got some guys that are sure they're green, but they've got some talent. They've got some big guys out on that mound tonight.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Rudy up high, ball 2. Another fastball missed. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Rudy's bounced to second, lined hard to right, and gone out to center. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Fastball. Ball free. Rudy, of course, was selected as the Sports Illustrated Player of the Week last week. Did he ever have a homestand? Mercy. His 455. He was 15 for 33. There's the 3-0 fastball in and over. 3-1 the count. He also had 6 steals and 6 attempts. Pitch on the way. Swung on, line drive, base hit between first and second. Here comes Fletcher. They're waving him around as the right fielder sloshes around out there, Ricky Nelson. Poor thing, couldn't do anything with it as the water just came all the way up. As Scotty scores, Sox lead at 6-0 as Cruz moves into third. Rudy is 30th RBI of the year. A run charged to Roy Thomas. It'll be an unearned run. That'll bring up the catcher, Carlton, fifth.
There's a case right there, Kenny, where inclement weather really interfered with the play, and I'm surprised that Jim Evans and them will let it keep going. But I understand why they'll let it keep going. Point of principle. 2 wrongs do not make a right.
That's exactly right. Rain now coming down even harder. Here's Carlson. He's 1 for 3. Takes the strike in and over. No, this is just getting to be a point of stubbornness now. See the pools of water on the infield. A little check swing foul at home plate on a slider. And the count 0-2. Bunch of mud down there at third base as Cruz returns to the third sack. Outfield swung around to the left just a few steps for Carlson. Sox with a magnificent home record of 49-25, 24 games over. They're 21 over against the West this season at 41-20. All those things add up for Champagne. Champagne time. Magic number stands at 3. As there's a check swing on the fastball lined over, just over the Mariner dugout. Count remains 0-2. With Kansas City idle tonight. If the Sox hang on to win here, magic number, of course, will be reduced to 2. And conceivably, they could clinch it tomorrow night. Rudy short lead at first as Best delivers just outside at the knees, and it's 1-2. Has a sign. Delivers. Breaking ball, a slider. Misses just outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Pudge. Pudge 12 for 25 this year against Mariner pitching. As this is the 7th meeting of the season between the two teams, Sox hold a 5-1 edge. Perfect at 3-0 here at Comiskey Park. 2-1 in Seattle. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Swung on, popped up. Catcher Jimmy Nelson coming back, giving it a shot, and can't quite get there. With good footing. He got there, but having to gauge the railing and the slipperiness of the warning track. Well, Carlson stays alive. There's still a lot of fans in attendance.
There really is. I was just looking around there. Many are packed up underneath beyond our vantage point where
we really can't see, but they are here. 30,328. They don't want to go out in the rain. So Bess has a new baseball, takes the sign, has it, kicks. Here comes the big right-hander, low and away, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Cruz at third, Law at first. Sox leading 6-0. Here's the payoff pitch. Law does not go outside with a breaking ball. He walks in. So bases loaded. Cruz at third, Law at second, Fisk at first. And right now, let's pause for station identification. This is the White Sox Radio Network.
Keep it right here for complete coverage of all the baseball races tomorrow morning on 67 WMAQ Chicago. Stay with the Sox. Stay with WMAQ. It's 12 midnight.
Harold Baines, the 10th hitter to hit here in the bottom of the 6th inning, steps in. Harold let it off for the walk. As time is being called at second base by Bernazard, he wants to find out what Crandall wants them to do. Bell says, get back. Now he points to Darnell Cole, says the third base says, you come home with it. Everybody else back. Here's the first pitch to Harold on the inside corner to knees, 0-1. Baines has struck out, bounced to second, and drawn the walk that we mentioned leading off the 6th. 0-1 pitch swung on, high in the left field. Steve Henderson going back on the track. Looks up, put it on the board, grand slam, home run for Baines. Lord have mercy. In the breeze, and the breeze blowing hard, as we mentioned earlier, over that right field roof and blowing hard to left. And it just took it right on out of here, and the Sox have a big one. Sox lead it 10-0. For Baines, his 16th homer, and he now has 86 RBIs. Mercy. Greg Luzinski. Bull 2 for 3 tonight. A homer and a double. Takes the breaking ball low and away. His home run in the 4th got the Sox on the board. And then had the RBI double, knocking in Baines earlier in this inning. So he knocked in the first 2 Sox runs as that pitch bounces. 2-0 the count. High towering drive by Baines as the wind coming from the east, blowing out towards left field. Carried it right back up about 3 rows into the left center field bleachers. 2-0 pitch to Luzinski once again gets away from Nelson. And it's 3-0. Pitch catches the outside corner. 3 balls in the strike. What are you laughing at, Niehaus? Dave Niehaus, voice of the Mariners. Here's a 3-1 pitch to Bull. Low and away, ball 4. Dave, this is almost getting to the point of being a farce, isn't it?
It is. It's a travesty. And, you know, I was just thinking what would happen if all of a sudden the crew chief, Jim Evans, called this ball game right now. You'd have it right on your hands down in that White Sox bullpen. You'd have a grand slam home run taken away, 500 bases. It would end up being a 1-0 ball game.
I'll tell you, that could not happen to our club. Now, it might happen to yours. No, it's been a great year for the Sox, David, as you have seen. Of course, you've seen this now the 7th game between these two clubs. Sox winning 5 of the first 6. They're going to win 6 of the first 7 right here. But it's been a truly superb year all the way around. You know, Sox getting off of that bad start. But Tony La Russa's just done one hell of a job.
Done a great job. The amazing thing to me, and looking at just the numbers, and of course we only see you 12, 13 times a year, is that only one Western Division club this year,
as Tom Paciorek fouls the first pitch back on the roof,
has won more than one game here in Chicago, and that's Kansas City. They've won 2 games here in Chicago all year long.
It's been terrific. It really has. It's been nice to watch, and of course, when you're talking about the top 3 of, you know, Hoyt and your boy last year, Floyd Bannister, Richard Dotson, 32-5 since the All-Star break, that's just awesome.
Well, I'm glad to see Banny doing so well. I know he had the rough start. He's just a tremendous pitcher.
0-1 pitch to Paciorek down low. Ball and a strike. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Sox scoring 1 in the 4th and 9 here in the 6th. They lead it 10-0.
A guy with number 16 out there at second base for you that you picked up from the Mariners has had a bit of flair, too, hasn't he?
You know, you told us back when he first joined the Mariners just how outstanding he was watching him play every day versus watching him play 10 or 12 times a year. And I'll tell you, it has been even better than it's been phenomenal what Julio Cruz has meant to this ball club.
Never seen any second baseman make the plays he makes, including Maz.
There's a line shot, another base hit into center field. Chris Nyman, who had just come in to run for Luzinski, on his way to third. He'll get there. And the beat goes off. Runners at the corner. And Drysdale, you just get on back. Just stay on over there.
You give me the torture chamber, you're going to keep me here, huh?
If you're going to sit there, keep score.
I got to watch my own book. I got so many dots on it now, it looks like a Braille book. Every time you score a run, I put a dot in my book, and I swear it's
Treasure Island code. Here's the 13th man to come to bat here in the bottom of the 6th, Ron Kittle. Ronnie, earlier this inning, had an RBI double. He's 1 for 3. With Nyman at third, and Paciorek, Tommy now 2 for 4 tonight. As there's a ground ball right side. Cuts that water, leaves a little rooster tail. Bernazard's only play over to first. That throw pulls Putnam off. As Nyman scores, Kittle safe, error on Bernazard, and Niehaus departs. That chased David right out of the booth. Well, that's too bad. Tony out there slipping and sliding through the mud. I've never seen a game played under these conditions right now, Kenny. Infield, as we mentioned, the ball when it hit the right side grass there, it just cut a rooster tail, like Miss Budweiser going through the water. So it's an 11-0 game. And here's Vance Law, the 14th hitter. Swings and does not get it. 0-1 to count. Sox with 10 runs across here in the 6th inning. Outfield swung around to the right as Carl Best delivers, jams in, pops him up right side. Putnam has to come a long way for it, and he makes the catch in foul territory over by the Mariner dugout. So that's out number 2. Vance now 1 for 3 on the evening. Earlier in this inning had a 2-run single. Mercy, mercy, mercy. That error, the 4th, was we mentioned by the Mariners tonight. For Bernazard is 19th of the year. And I'll tell you, it's just tough to give a man an error on a play like that. Coming in, sopping wet ball. On the move, no footing. So here's Scotty Fletcher. Scotty 0 for 2. In fact, he is the only member of the starting lineup that has drawn the collar thus far. He's bounced a short, walked, and reached base on an error by Spike Owen. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Up and in. Fastball, and it's 1-1. Strike. 2 out as Best delivers high and inside. 2-1 to count. And I would imagine that with this 11-0 lead, we'll probably see some changes for the Sox. Shurik at second, Kittle off at first as their pitch up high, 3-1. And once again, please be careful if you're in your automobile. And if it's that tough to be playing baseball here, it's got to be double tough out on those streets and highways. 3-1 pitch catches the outside corner, full count to Scott.
Approximately 29 minutes, Kenny.
Here's the payoff pitch. Runners take off. Blowing away. He walks him. Second walk issued by Beth. That's the 7th walk issued by Mariner pitching. We can hardly see the bullpen, but there is activity in both of them. As the mist just sweeping across Comiskey Park. Mist, my fanny, that's rain sweeping across Comiskey Park. Now here comes Frank Funk, Mariner pitching coach. And that'll bring up Julio Cruz, the 16th batter, to come to the plate here in the 6th.
The only thing Frank can be saying to him right out there right now is just, now look it, just throw a strike and hope it hits it at somebody and they don't slip and slide. Funk is having something to say to home plate umpire Ted Hendry, maybe about the conditions, and Ted's saying it's not in my hands. I'm not the crew chief.
Jim Evans is the crew chief.
Be interesting to read the papers tomorrow. I can't wait to get them just to hear the reaction on both sides from the players.
Bases loaded. 2 out. And here's Julio Cruz, 1 for 1. Takes the strike in and over. Dave Stegman has come out on deck for Rudy Law. Mark Hill, we see him down in the dugout putting the gear on. He'll go behind the plate. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Little low. 21 to count. Salome Barojas warming up for the Sox. He probably will come on in. Lamar Hoyt sitting over there all this time. 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses. Just misses. 2 balls and a strike. Paciorek at third. Kittle at second. And Scott Fletcher at first. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two delivery up high, full count.
You'd almost have to believe that Tony La Russa right here will. He's had his attack squad in there. He'll come back with his counter with his suicide squad. Going out there in the 7th. Or the 8th, yes, 7th.
Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled hard over the roof of the Sox dugout. Now remains 3-2. Well, it's not like you're throwing Christians to the Lions. It just goes with the territory. Once again, the payoff pitch. Swung on ground ball left side in the hole. Is Spike going? He cannot make a play. Cruz beats it out for a base hit. Paciorek scores. And it's a 12-0 Sox lead. Comes Del Crandall. That'll be all for the young right-hander Carl Best. So this will be the 4th pitching change. here in the sixth. And I'm sure Dell just told young Carl Best, look, don't worry about it, son. Nothing you can do on an evening like this. Forget about it. So Best goes to the dugout. And a pitching change, and with this pitching change, we'll take another timeout here in the bottom of the sixth. The Sox have scored 11 times, and they lead it 12-0.
Now, right-hander Gene Nelson comes on, making his sixth appearance of the year, record of 0-1 and a 7.98 ERA. He's worked in 14 2/3 innings, allowed 19 hits and 14 runs, 13 earned. He has walked 11 and struck out 6. The right-hander Gene Nelson, the fourth pitcher here in the bottom of the sixth inning for Seattle. Just 22 years old, out of Tampa, Florida, 6 feet tall, 175 pounds. Originally in the New York Yankee organization, he started off like a house of fire. In fact, his first year he was 5-0. His next year he was 13-5, so that's 18-5. Then his next year he was 20-3. So that's 38-8 in his first 3 professional seasons. His lifetime Major League mark coming in this year was 9-10. So with the record of 0-1, he is 9-11 lifetime in the Major Leagues. And he comes on here as the Sox have just had, what is this, the biggest inning in their history? 11 runs? That's it, against Seattle, too.
So here's Dave Stegman hitting for Rudy Law. He is the 17th man to come to the bat here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Rudy was 1 for 4. Got that single earlier in the inning. Takes low from Nelson. Mark Hill on deck. Nelson delivers, swung on, ground ball in the hole is Spike Owen. He'll take the easy way over to third base, retire Scott Fletcher, and that will end the inning. Mercifully. But the Sox send 17 men to the plate. They score 11 times on 9 hits. There was 2 Mariner errors. They leave 3, and after 6, it's a 12-0. It's the top of the 7th inning, and with Don Drysdale, this is Ken Harrelson as the Sox lead it 12-0, scoring 11 times in the bottom of the 6th. And a reminder that following the last regular season Sox home game against the Twins on September 21st, there will be a Salute the Sox fireworks display sponsored by Household Finance. So let's send the Sox out to the coast in style. That's Wednesday, September 21st. There are a few changes for the Sox here in the top of the 7th. And to call them and tell you about it, here's Tom.
Thank you, Hawk. You did a fine job, my man. 11 tallies in the 6th canto.
As soon as we get to the commercial break, I'm going to tell you what you can do about it.
Aurelio Rodriguez at third. Jerry Dubzinski at short. Timmy Hewlett making his Major League debut at second. And Mike Squires at first. As Tony Bertazar stands in, bounces one back up the middle. Dubzinski on the grass, throws to Getty. 1 gone. In the outfield, Jerry Harrison's in left with Dave Stegman in center. Don't go away now. And in right field is Casey Parsons. The battery of Mark Hill and Salome Barojas. So a whole new 9. The shock troops out there for Tony La Russa. That was a good play by Dubzinski just to start it off. Boy, that infield is treacherous. Here's Ron Renicky as Barojas delivers, and the pitch fouled first base side as the mud bounced up and got Mark Hill in the eyes. 0-1 to count. Now they will go right straight up in the lineup. Parsons will be in Bain's spot, in the third spot. Next pitch outside. Nyman, who ran for Luzinski, will stay in as the DH. Squires at first in Pashorik's spot. As Barojas comes right back and delivers a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike. Harrison in Kittle's spot, hitting in the 6th spot. Barojas comes right back and delivers just outside, and the count goes to 3-1. Renicky tonight has fouled out to Fisk, and he singled in the 4th. Rodriguez hitting in the 7th spot, in Vance Law's spot. There's a fastball in and over, and the count goes full 3-2. Yastrzemski will hit in Fletcher's spot in the 8th spot. As Barojas delivers a check swing foul left side. And the count remains at 3-2. And Timmy Hewlett will hit an Julio Cruz spot in the 9th spot. Here's a 3-2 pitch, down low, and he walks him. Now Renicke's aboard, and that'll bring on Pat Putnam, the first baseman. Now Barojas with his first walk. Squires playing behind Renicky. 12 runs on 11 hits, no errors for the Sox. 2 runs. Check that, no runs, 2 hits, and 4 errors for the Mariners. As Barojas delivers outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Here's the 1-0 pitch, line to left field. That's a base hit. Jerry Harrison comes on as the ball splashes through the water. He will get it back in. Renicky stopping at second base, and runners at first and second. 1 out, and it will bring on Al Cowens, and it will not be Cowens. We will have a pinch hitter. Chambers comes on, and he will hit for Al Cowens. Barojas ready to go to work and delivers a first pitch high and away. Ball 1. Chambers hitting .250, has a home run and 7 RBIs on the year. Left-hand hitter. Infield, double play depth. Barojas with a sign. Now sets and delivers a high drive into deep right field, left in the rain. Parsons to the wall, makes a catch. Gets the ball back into Hewlett, and moving to third is Renicky. So Chambers gave it a ride, and he chased Casey Parsons right to the 374 marker to haul it down. Without the wind, that ball's gone. Now there's 2 outs, runners at first and third, and here's Steve Henderson. As the rain continues to fall, the infield glistens. Twelve to nothing, the Sox on top. Trying to drop their magic number to 2, and indeed, that should be what it is tomorrow morning. As Barojas delivers a big swing and a miss. The count. So if you don't really have to be good at numbers. Figure a Sox win and a Kansas City loss tomorrow night, it's all over. There's the breaking pitch up high, the count 1-1. Just 2 Sox wins. Barojas again ready to go. Out of the stretch, here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a curveball. And the count 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count. Barojas again. Ready to go. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung and missed. Strike 3 at a breaking pitch. The side retired, no runs on a hit, no errors, 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Sox on top by a score of 12. Now, as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, the umpires have kept the Mariners in the dugout. They're all leaving the bullpens, going in the clubhouse. The entire Sox bullpen is coming in. And the grounds crew is really trying to get that tarp on the field. Jim Evans has asked for the field to be covered, and I can't believe that he would ask for it to be covered right now, unless he's doing it as if to say, so we can play tomorrow night.
But boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, I wish the president of the American League was here tonight.
Well, if he was, Donnie, somebody might get fired.
That's exactly right.
Somebody might get fired.
Especially the way the players were skidding, and to put the players' a career in possible jeopardy because of something in the back of your mind that might be sticking in your craw. That is not the proper way to go about it.
Well,
that is not the proper way to go about it.
Well, let's just face it from another aspect. If you want to, you're talking about a situation here where the way things are in baseball today and in society today, the magic word is sue. And you're talking about a possibility. The game has not been called, we just understand. Time has been called. But, you know, somebody gets out there in conditions like this, and they get themselves a very sharp lawyer if they were to break a leg or have an hour pitcher slip out there, as you've been out there before.
That's right.
In the conditions. Now, you know how easy it is that you can hurt yourself. Pull a groin and you're out the rest of the year.
Not only that, but have your foot slip, and knowing that your foot's going to slip, and you try and catch up on the arm, and all of a sudden you ruin your arm. And it just takes one pitch to do that. Talk to anybody with a bad arm, and they can tell you that. But I just don't agree with what Jim Evans has done tonight. I know exactly why he's done it, and there has been no call for it whatsoever.
Well, it all stems back to the Baltimore situation. On the home run that Carlton Fisk hit, and then not so much of the call, because as you go back to that home run by Fisk, if the Sox lost that game 2-1, which they would have won 3-2, it boiled down to the fact you could see why the call possibly was missed, but then it was afterwards that the big hullabaloo and discussion came up. And as you say, you know, it's a situation now. You've got to feel like there's a lot of resentment in Jim Evans.
Well, there's no question about it. He's a crew chief. He took the heat. The tapes were sent to the American League office, and possibly he was a little bit embarrassed by what he saw. But it was on his own volition that call was changed, because he's the one that walked down from that home plate area and helped in overruling the third base umpire, Greg Kosk, who tonight is at first base. And sure, they might be embarrassed, but that's, you know, you hang a curveball or a slider and somebody hits it out of the ballpark, you're embarrassed there too if you get beat, but you got to go about it the next day and forget about it.
How about taking one right down the middle, 3-2 bases loaded? That don't mean you're going to do it again.
Well, you hope not. Well, anyway, the field is covered. Many of the fans are going home. The game has not been called, by the way. So we'll just run down the scoreboard, and then we'll send it back to the studios on along the line and keep you posted as the progress of this game will maybe continue, and maybe it will not continue. We'll have to see how big the neck is going to be. In the American League tonight, Texas has defeated Oakland by a score of 6-5. Smith, the winner, 3-3. Conroy, the loser, 6-9. Wright, his 18th win of the year. Dent picked up his first, or I should say, Wright, his 18th home run of the year. Dent his first. It was Boston 7-1 over Baltimore. Hurst, the winner, 12-10. Davis, the loser, 12-6. Ripken, his 24th home run of the year. Minnesota defeated Toronto by a score of 6-2. Schramm, the winner, 13-7. Steve, the loser, 15-12. Engel hit his 8th home run. Hatcher hit his 7th, and Upshaw hit his 24th. In the National League, it was the Dodgers shutting out Houston 6-0. Pena, 12-6, the winner. Ryan, 13-8, the loser. It was Pittsburgh 8-4 over the Cubs. McWilliams, 14-6, the winner. Rainey, 14-11, the loser. Hebner hit his 4th home run of the year, a grand slammer in the 8th inning. That ended up being the difference in the ball game. Ron Say hit his 21st for the Cubs. Montreal 4, Philadelphia 1. Gullickson, the winner, 15-11. Gross, the loser, 4-6. Matuzik, his 2nd home run of the year. Francona, his 2nd. And New York defeated St. Louis by a score of 6-4. Lynch, the winner, 10-9. LaPointe, the loser, 12-9. Foster, his 25th home run of the year. Porter, his 15th, and Smith, his 16th. So that's the American League and the National League in a nutshell. Time has been called right here. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rain continues to fall. The field is covered. And the White Sox on top by a score of 12-0, trying to make their magic number 2.
as they will try and possibly clinch it tomorrow night, depending on what Kansas City does and what the Sox do. A Sox win and a Kansas City defeat, it's all over. 2 Sox wins in a row, regardless of where they are. If they go in the next couple of days, that'll be over right then also. So for Ken Harrelson, I'm Don Drysdale, and stay with us. We'll keep you monitored along the line. This is the White Sox Radio Network.
Back at Comiskey Park after a long evening of baseball. 2 hours and 29 minutes of rain delays, but the Sox prevailed under rainy skies all evening long as they thumped the Mariners 12-0. Our postgame guest is the Bull, Greg Luzinski, and all he did tonight was knocking the first 2 runs of the ball game. The first one coming in the 4th inning as he cranked out his 30th homer of the year, and a double in the 6th inning, knocking in 2 runs. He now has 30 home runs, 87 RBIs, and congratulations, Bull, on your 30th of the season.
Thank you, Hawk. It felt really good. I know it was a rain delay, but everybody in this clubhouse wanted to play. We know what's at stake, and even though the weather was against us, everybody went out there with a good attitude, and the Sox prevailed.
Well, the magic number down to 2 now, Bull, and when you're talking about the attitude, I tell you, like you, been around a long time. For me, 23 years, not so long as that for you, but I've never seen a better attitude on the ball club than this one the Sox have.
Well, there's no question about it. I think there's a great blend here, and when you talk about the attitude, sometimes, I really sit back, and I've been on division-winning ball clubs, and sometimes, like I said, I sit back, and I don't really think these guys really know what we're going through right now.
Well, sometimes it's better not to know because of the fact, you're going to run up against a tough ball club, whoever it may be, as Baltimore was beaten tonight in the East 7-1 by the Red Sox, but you're going to run up probably against Baltimore, and they have that experience.
Well, there's no question. When you come to the playoffs, it's a whole new ball game, but the intensity factor will definitely be there. For me, I've been in 4 of them, and I've been able to go to a World Championship, and for me, that was the most fun I've ever had playing baseball. To be in that situation, every ball player wants to be there. That's their ultimate goal, is to try to be a world champ. But finally, the White Sox will get the chance to go to the playoffs and hopefully on to the World Series.
Our guest is the Bull, Greg Luzinski, and we'll be back with more from Bull right after this.
The next best thing to a new Chevrolet is a used car with a Z Frank OK. The only cars that he has for sale are completely reconditioned from the head to the tail. They're all about as perfect as a car can be, and they carry that Z Frank guarantee, which is just another way of telling you why you better Z Frank before you buy. Z Frank makes sure that the car's inspected. He wants to be certain that you're fully protected from the bumper in front to the gasoline tank. It's got to pass the test to be sold at Z Frank. So if you want a car and you've got little to pay, get the next best thing to a new Chevrolet. A used car with a Z Frank OK. Z Frank. Z Frank today.
You get a much better value, Z Frank.
Before you buy.
Get the Z Frank price and save. Z Frank, 6116 Northwestern Avenue and 2050 Peterson Avenue.
Our guest in the postgame show once again is the Bull, Greg Luzinski, who went 2 for 3 tonight, had the game-winning RBI, his 9th of the season, also cranked out his 30th home run. And Bull, you guys have now won 14 straight games here at Comiskey Park. That's just one heck of a streak, especially you started that streak when still relatively heat was on.
Well, that's a key factor in winning the West. I think when you look back and you look at the Eastern Division winners and Western Division winners, you look at home records, and most of those ball clubs really take advantage of playing at home, just as the White Sox have. And there's no question going down the stretch here with big crowds, the motivation's there, and I think that really fires people up, and that's to our advantage.
Well, we had a shot of you talking about the playing conditions tonight on this particular evening. Had a shot of you down on third base talking with Jimmy Leland, and nothing but mud down there. Also a first for me. I have never seen teams send 17 men to the plate in 1 inning.
Well, it's a situation where, we played on the same field. We made some plays, and Lamar Hoyt, threw the ball well. And I remember back, I think, playing the Los Angeles Dodgers, where we played a playoff game, and just about the same conditions, other than the fact that we were on AstroTurf. But, I talked to the head umpire, Evans, after the ball game here, and he knew the situation we were in. He knew the White Sox wanted to play, and I think he did a good job. I think, he said that the playing field wasn't all that bad until that long inning, which, definitely just drenched it. And he wanted to make sure that Seattle came to bat in the top of the 7th to give them an opportunity to come back. And then he felt after that, as you could see on TV or listening to the rain announcers, that the field was definitely unplayable at that time.
Well, Bull, thanks for the time, pards. We know it's been a long day, and you, like all our other listeners who happen to be driving home, be careful going home, my man. Go on up and relax and enjoy yourself.
Well, it's always nice when you win, right, Hawk?
You got that right, driver.
Okay,
all
thank
right,
you.
our guest has been the Bull, Greg Luzinski, who cranked out his 30th homer of the season tonight. And our guests receive a GE rechargeable battery pack from True Value Hardware Stores and Home Centers. And coming up, stay with us. An up-to-the-minute baseball scoreboard and highlight recap of tonight's game.
That's my girl.
Hi, honey, I'm home.
Hi.
I just got us the greatest computer deal for our new home business. The PC 8800 from NEC. The big computer and communications company. Oh, I've never seen such beautiful graphics. I also got a 12-inch NEC green monitor and a disk drive so we can store more records, plus 2 versions of Microsoft Basic and CPM. And for our letters and follow-up, I got WordStar with mail merge.
Honey.
And an electronic spreadsheet called Multiplan, good for non-technical people like us. What's wrong, Harold? Your face is all blue.
I can't believe you spent $5,000 on computer stuff.
That's right, $24.97.
$24.97 for all that? You're a genius.
No, you are. You married me.
NEC Home Electronics USA. Productivity at your fingertips.
See this great NEC PC 8800 package deal at Computer Center of Glen Ellen. In this age of technology, it's easy to assume that newer means better. But Interlake is one technology leader with a different point of view. They believe the real test of technology is practicality. And sometimes the old proven way of doing a job is more practical and profitable than the new way. Well, for example, Acme Packaging, an Interlake company, produces machines for metal stitching, a tried and true method of fastening metal parts in cars and appliances. Several years ago, a new technology hit the market. It was more expensive than metal stitching, but many manufacturers switched over, only to find that the new materials just didn't hold as well as those old stitches. Now, the same companies are switching back because Acme's metal stitching is still the most effective, cost-effective, efficient technology for the job. So it's still the right answer for business. Interlake, finding answers in practical technology and rooting for the White Sox to go all the way this year. 12 minutes after 1 o'clock on the Chicago White Sox radio network. This is WMAQ Radio, Chicago.
6-10-0 for the Twins, 2-6-0 for the Blue Jays. Schramm, the winner, 13-7 with the Twins. Steve, the loser, he is 15-12. 3 home runs in that ball game. For the Blue Jays, Willie Upshaw is 24th. And for Minnesota, Dave Engel is 8th, and Mickey Hatcher his 7th. In the National League, it was the Cubbies at Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh coming up with 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning on a grand slam home run by Richie Hebner off Lee Smith as the Pirates beat the Cubs 8-4. 8-11-1 for the Pirates, 4-8-1 for the Cubs. The winner, McWilliams, 14-6. Rainey, the loser, 14-11. The only other home run in that ball game by the Cubs, Ryan Say, is 21st. They had 7,943 at Three River Stadium. In other National League action, the Dodgers behind Alejandro Pena shut out the Astros 6-0. 6-7-0 for the Dodgers, 0-5-1 for the Astros. Pena, the winner, 12-6. Nolan Ryan, the loser, 13-8. They had 20,697 at the Astrodome. Montreal over Philadelphia at Veterans Stadium, 4-1. 4-10-0 for the Expos, 1-6-0 for the Phils. Gullickson, the winner, 15-11. Gross, the winner, 4-6. 2 home runs. Francona for Montreal is second. And Len Matusak for the Phils, his second. They had 25,047. And in the final National League action, it was the Mets in a big victory over the Cardinals. Tough loss for the Cardinals. Mets beat them 6-4. 6-9-0 for New York, 4-9-2 for St. Louis. Lynch, the winner, 10-9. LaPointe, the loser, 12-9. 3 home runs. Porter and Smith for the Cardinals. Foster is 25th for New York. So those are the scores around the major leagues, and stay with us as we'll be back to recap tonight's Sox 12-0 victory over Seattle.
Harv, you promised we'd see about our car loan today.
We will, right now.
You're still in your bathrobe, Harv.
Yeah, see this, Marilyn?
That's the phone, Harv.
This is our link to the Lane Loan Phone.
The loan phone?
Yep, all we have to do is dial 1-800-572-3337, and we can request our loan by phone.
Come on, Harv. Banks don't let you apply for a loan over the phone. That'd be too easy.
Yeah, the Lane banks do.
The Lane banks? The ones with over $1.5 billion in assets? The ones that made over $25 million in home improvement loans and $50 million in auto loans last year? Those Lane banks?
Mm-hmm. And we don't even have to go in. We just dial 1-800-572-3337 and phone in our loan request. They'll get back to us real fast.
Good. That'll give you just enough time to clean the garage.
For competitive rates and fast turnaround on auto, home improvement, and personal loans, call the Loan Phone at 1-800-572-3337 or come into your nearby Lane Bank, including Northwest National, Lakeview, Northbrook, and Pioneer Bank. Members FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lenders.
Before we get to the highlight recap of tonight's game, let's first check the standings around the major leagues. First in the American League West, it's the Sox with that 12-0 victory over Seattle tonight, opening up the first of a 4-game set and the first of a 7-game homestand, the final homestand of the season. So the Sox now with Kansas City Idol move to 16 games in front. Then come the Texas Rangers, Oakland A's, California, Minnesota, and Seattle. In the American League East, Baltimore was defeated by the Red Sox, so now the Tigers idle tonight go to 5 games. The Yankees also idle, go to 6.5. Then come Toronto, Milwaukee, Boston, and Cleveland. In the National League East, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, check that, Philadelphia lost, Pittsburgh won, so it's a tie in the East. Then come Montreal, a half game back. Cardinals got beat by the Mets, so they're 2.5 back. Then the Cubs and New York. In the West, it's the Dodgers with that 6-0 victory over the Astros. They now move to 4.5 games in front of Atlanta. Houston being beat by the Dodgers, now 8.5 back. Then San Diego, San Francisco, and Cincinnati. So once again, in the American League West, it's the Sox, 16 over Kansas City. In the East, it's Baltimore 5 over the Tigers. In the National League, it's a tie, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. And in the West, it's the Dodgers by 4.5 over Atlanta. So those are the standings around the major leagues. And when we come back this time, we'll give you the recap of tonight's game.
The trees and shrubs that beautify your home can also damage it when their roots penetrate sewage pipes. But Robic Root Killer from True Value Hardware stores can clear them away and keep them away. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you it destroys roots where they enter and prevents regrowth. Then minimize septic tank maintenance with Robic septic tank treatment that breaks down waste to prevent clogging. Both non-caustic Robic formulas protect your home for a full year, and they're available at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
The most refreshing way to make the most of every day. And wherever you go or whatever you do, there's something big waiting for me and you. Go-Get-It, the biggest taste you have ever found. Go-Get-It, the one that never lets you down. Go-Get-It, the most refreshing taste around. Go-Get-It.
And checking out the highlights of tonight's Sox 12-0 thumping of the Seattle Mariners, it was a good pitcher's duel between the young, talented right-hander Mike Moore of Seattle. He's just 23 years old, 6'4", 205 pounds, coming in with a record of 5-6 against the Major League's top winner, Lamar Hoyt. In fact, Lamar had retired the first 9 Mariner hitters in order through the first 3, but it was the Sox getting on the board first. It was Greg Luzinski against the hard-throwing Moore leading off the bottom of the 4th inning. As here comes the payoff pitch. Going on, high drive deep in the left center field. Going back, looking up, put it on the board. Home run for Luzinski. His 30th of the season, and the Sox lead it 1-0. And, of course, that 1-0 lead still not anywhere near being comfortable, not only because of the talented Mike Moore, but because of the fact the rain had been falling, 2-hour rain delay, and the field was very, very slippery. But it stayed 1-0 until the 6th inning. Harold Baines led it off with a walk, and then it was our post-game guest once again, Greg Luzinski at the plate. Going on line into the gap in left center field. Nobody's going to get this one. Baines around second. Trying to make sure this footing is Jimmy Leland. Gives him the come-off sign. He's going to score, and the Sox lead it 2-0. So it was a 2-0 lead still in the 6th inning. And in case you did not hear or just tuned in, the Sox scored 11 times in that inning on 9 hits. So after a lot of base hits, a couple more runs, it was Harold Baines at the plate. 0-1 pitch swung on, high in left field. Steve Henderson going back on the track. Looks up, put it on the board. Grand slam home run for Baines. So as we mentioned, the Sox coming up with 11 runs on 9 hits. They were helped out by a couple of Mariner errors in the inning. That was a high, of course, this season, and just too shy of the all-time White Sox record of 13 scored in an inning. So the totals: for the Sox, 12 runs, 11 hits, no errors, they stranded 7. For the Mariners, no runs, just 3 hits, 4 errors, they stranded 2. Lamar Hoyt picking up his 21st victory of the season. He is 21-10. Mike Moore, the loser, he is 5-7, and Greg Luzinski with his 9th game-winning RBI. The time of the game was 2 hours, 52 minutes, but they had 2 hours, 29 minutes of rain delays. So be sure and join us tomorrow night at 7:08. Airtime, it'll be Floyd Bannister in the second of this 4-game set against the Mariners, going after his 15th victory of the season. He is 14-10 against the left-hander, Brian Clark, who is 6-6. So for Don Drysdale and our entire crew here at Comiskey Park, it was a long evening, but a lovely evening. They had 30,328. So long. Until tomorrow, 7:08 airtime. This is the White Sox Radio Network.